Barbers, we back at it with another phase of fellowship.
Yeah. Energy, energy.
What do you say? How do you say? I'm just about to see another day. I go by the name of Terry the Barber, and this is Razor Sharp Podcast. Today we have an OG of OGs. The original Vick the Barber is in the building, and we salute you, my brother, for coming on board to the Razor Sharp Podcast extravaganza. How you feeling today?
Good, man. Just hanging in there, one day at a time. How about
Okay.
you?
I'm good, bro. I've been so moving around, creating a lot of content, having great conversations in the background, doing a whole bunch of things, and it's just good to see that something that I came into something that just dropped into my lap last year doing this podcast is really starting to get recognized, and it's really starting to pick up. So that's a good look, you know.
Yes, sir.
So, who is Victor Barber? I got a little notes right here, right? Because I wanted to do a little bit of research. But Victor Barber he's been on YouTube since 2010. First video drop was December 31st, 2010, right there on that cusp before 2011. And he's the owner of Timeless Barbershop. And he is a phenomenal, do they call it pop locker?
In LA, they consider it pop locking. In the Bay Area, it's considered boogaloo or strutting or just popping. But it's all together. It's all the same stuff.
Okay,
You
okay,
know.
okay.
Yeah.
So how long you been cutting hair?
Well, I mean, my math is bad, so I can't give you the exact year. But I went to barber college. Right when I turned 20 years old, I went to barber college. And so that would be 2004. So if you
Okay.
want to count barber college since 2004, and we're in 2025. But I mean, I was cutting hair prior to that, maybe like, um, all through high school, just cutting my own hair. But I had no idea, like, oh, I'm going to become a barber or anything like that.
hmm
I was
Okay.
just messing around with it.
So who got you into barbering? Like even just cutting your own hair. Who gave you the clippers?
My mom, yeah, my mother,
Okay. Is
yeah.
there any
'Cause she,
barbering history in the household?
Nah, man, I wish I could say that because I'm always envious of people that are like, yeah, I come from a long line of, seven generations of barbers. I'm like, man, that's fucking dope. I
Yeah.
wish I could say that. But who
Okay.
knows? Maybe I'm the beginning of my lineage, you know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
my kids. Yeah.
So your mom got you a pair of clippers. Was the conversation that you want to learn to cut your hair? Or times is getting harder, you need to do it yourself? What was the reason why she gave you the clippers?
Well, yeah, like times were always hard pretty much and yeah, so I like to get back then I used to go to little Chinita barbers right down the street, and they were charging like $6. But even that was like, six times. I was trying to get cut once a week, so
Mm.
6 times 4. You know what I mean? That was still too much back then for me and my mother at the time. It was just me and my mom always growing up. I got three sisters, but they were already out of the house. Like my youngest sister is in her 50s right now, so like they were already over 18 when I was pretty much coming up.
You
So it
said
was
your
just basically.
you said your
Say that again.
youngest sister is 50?
Yeah, my youngest sister, as in like she's not
Oh,
younger than me, but
okay.
so
I was saying.
my mom had my three sisters in her early, and her first one at 19, then 20 and 21, and then nothing till 40,
Okay. So
and that
you
was
the
me.
baby. So you the baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the baby. Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
that's a 20-year gap.
yeah,
Wow. That's crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
So what's the first pair of clippers your mom purchased you?
She got me some Conairs, man. It's funny. I hear other people saying that all the time. Oh, my first pair of clippers were Conairs. I was like, dang, Conairs did pretty well then.
Oh yeah. Well, Kanye now is Babylon, so they definitely did very well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You
That's
know?
crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yep. So what made you want to go to barber school though?
I went to bar. Honestly, man, I went
I got a phone call, right?
Yeah,
All right.
sorry, somebody was calling. Yeah, I went to barber college out of desperation. I didn't have anything else to do, man. Like I pretty much. So I don't know if some people know this, and some people don't. I was a teenage bodybuilder. So
Okay.
I won Mr. San Jose back in 2003, and somebody's texting me right now. It's like throwing me off, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I won Mr. San Jose when I was 19 back in 2003, and like that was like my whole everything. Like just that was gonna be like my way out of the hood, way out of my bad conditions, you
Hmm.
know, and basically my way to make it in the world, right? And then I did my first show, and I realized that I just liked lifting weights. I didn't actually like bodybuilding. Like, well,
Mm.
if you're lifting weights and exercising, your bodybuilding, right? But I didn't like the competition aspect of it.
Uh-huh.
And so once I competed in my first show and I won that, and then I got invitation to do Mr. California team division rather, and I just was like, you know what, I don't really like this. And I was like back at square one. Like I went from being so sure that I had something that this is what I wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
And then basically I was just like, man, I don't know if this is for me anymore. So then I was kind of like, damn, what am I gonna do? And I had already been cutting hair,
Hmm.
and and then one of my OG bodybuilder homies was like, why don't you be a barber? And I was like, because I used to cut his hair, right?
Okay.
I used to cut his hair, and I was like, nah, man. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a barber, and because it wasn't cool.
No.
I don't maybe on the East Coast it was cool. I mean, from what I see, it seems like especially like in the Black community and the Hispanic community, like being a barber was always kind of like on the East Coast, anyways. It was always like this is a cool thing to do. This is a good way to make money. This is a good way to feed your family. And become an entrepreneur too. You could take the money, invest in real estate, stocks, whatever, right?
Yep.
And so, but I didn't have like my upbringing. I didn't have no type of direction or anybody telling me, what I need to be doing and this and that. It was kind of like I raised myself.
That's what's
And
up.
yeah,
Okay.
and so yeah, so that's why I became a barber because it was like, what am I going to do now? And it was a skill that I had already, started to become decent at.
Hmm.
So, I wouldn't say I was like good, but I can honestly say like even my first, second, third haircut were decent. When I think back, people are like, man, have you ever given a really messed up haircut? And I'm like, there was one time in barber college, maybe a few times where I could already fade and I could do like good haircuts, but I didn't understand the instructions of the client.
Hmm.
I can't talk right now, honey. Okay. I
Shout out
already
to the
told you that. I already
shout
told
out
you
to the
guys that.
family. Shout out to the family, man.
Yeah, the family's right here. My daughter's currently coming and talking. I'm like, okay. I already
Salute to
told them
that.
not to come in. But shit. Sorry.
You good?
The vibration from the phone. Nah. So yeah, um long story short, yeah, I mean, where was I? Kind of got sidetracked on that. Oh yeah. So yeah, so it was just kind of like the last. I didn't have nothing else going for myself. It wasn't like this cool thing. Oh, I'm gonna be a barber. I didn't have anybody to look up to or nothing
Uh,
like that. And then like I said, my client. I mean, he wasn't my client, but he was somebody that I was cutting up, and he was like, "You should be a barber. Barbers make great money." And I was like, "What?" So I started looking into it, and
huh?
then go ahead, say that again.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And then I remember I had, because I always wanted to become something. I always wanted to be something great. You know what I mean? I always was like, grew up watching the Rocky movies like everybody else, watching Pumping Iron, watching all this stuff, getting inspired. Watching movies that get your goosebumps going, where you're like, it makes you get inspired. You want to become something, right? Especially
Hmm.
when you come from nothing, you got that's all you want to do is become something, right? So something great anyways. And so yeah, so you know um I keep getting all these notifications that are throwing me off. Sorry, bro.
Nah, that's all good.
um yeah,
If you
so
want,
yeah,
bro, if
like
you
I
want,
said.
you can slide your thing down and put it on Do Not Disturb, and then slide back up, so then you won't get no notifications or nothing like that. Shout out to everybody on the live, man, dropping all of these great comments. People talking about how
But
they flew in from Australia and everything. Salute to all of that. I remember flying in from Australia to meet Vick before I started barber schools. Benjamin said that. So salute.
yeah,
Yeah, man. So you were saying that that there was a few haircuts when you was in barber school that you probably messed up a little bit, but you already had it.
yeah,
Probably
yeah,
you
yeah.
know
Like I
practice
already,
on yourself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like one guy. He said that I remember specifically. He was like an OG with waves, right? But he had like those really thin waves where it's like it's almost damn near like a 10 on top if you want to use a guard knife.
Uh huh. Peace, Clay. Was good. Thank you for the follow, guys. Yep.
And instead of and he said, let me get a one on top, right? So you know what I did,
Against the
right?
grain.
I went against the grain, shoot, took them right out. And you know, and with some people's waves, going against the grain actually is a good thing, right?
Yeah. Yep. But a high guard, not a low guard.
You
Yep.
know, and the waves come out clean. But yeah, with this gentleman's hair, it just wasn't a one wasn't what I should, and going against the grain wasn't, definitely. So obviously he wanted me to go with the grain, and then and he was very understanding. He was like, "Yo, man, it's all good. I'm coming to a barber college to get my hair cut, so
Yeah.
I can't expect too much, right?"
Yep.
And then so stuff like that. But I mean, like I already had the basic principles of like fading and stuff down. So, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I was like super nice," but I will say I got good very quickly, because I just wanted it. I just wanted it. I was like, "This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna be the fucking best barber that I could be." Period.
That's
You know
what's
what I
up.
mean? Yeah.
So when it came to the schooling, how many hours was it back then?
It was 1,500.
Okay, so how many hours do you think it is now on the West Coast? Is it still 1,500?
Nah, it's they've deregulated a little bit. I think it's like not deregulated, but I don't know what you would call that, but. Would that be considered deregulation? Like yeah, 1,000 hours. It's at 1,000 hours now. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I mean, I think 1,500 hours is a little bit too much when it comes to how many hours you need to accumulate before you can go for the state board. I think 1,000 hours because like in New York, all you need is 500 hours. And that's
Well,
like
it all
6 months.
depends. To me, it all depends on your test. If the test is super rigorous,
Mm-hmm.
then 1,500 is not even enough. Because back
Mm-hmm.
then, even a lot of people weren't passing. But
Really?
now today, there's no live model. We don't got no live shave, no nothing. You don't
Yeah.
even have to do anything on the mannequin anymore. It's
Yeah.
literally just a written test. And from what I've been hearing, the passing record has gone down even more.
Mm,
It's like less than I don't even. Last some schools are at like 30% passing rate.
really?
Yeah, and to me, I mean, you shouldn't be able to have a school if you don't have at least like a 60, 70% passing rate, because that's fucking sad.
Mm.
Especially when it's just a written test.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Because
but
because
yeah,
in
I
New
mean,
York, they stopped doing the written test in New York. Now you only got to do the practical. Then when I came down to Georgia, I had to do the written test when I transferred my license over in 2021. So now I was good with the practical, but I just hit the written here. So I had to go to barber school to get a couple more hours. Then I was able to go take the test. And that test was kind of hard because everybody said the test is easy and you study certain things, but the stuff that they told me to study, none of that stuff was on my test. So it just depends on what
yeah.
test you get.
Hey, honestly, me same here. Same here. I mean, there was a lot of stuff in my test with the written test that was not. It was kind of like you just had to know a little bit about everything. You know what I mean? But not to toot my own horn, but I didn't graduate high school, right? But I
Mm,
went back and I took a GED test without even studying it.
really?
And yeah, without even studying, not even a lick of it, and I don't want to say I aced it, but I passed it like pretty easily. And they say, I mean, from what I know, a lot of people, even that have graduated high school, that are would not be able to pass. They
Oh,
say a GED test without studying for it.
it's
So I
hard.
guess maybe I'm a little smarter than I give myself credit.
Yep, yep. Yep.
So
Because I
I
know
don't
a
know.
lot of
I mean,
people.
so,
I know a lot of people that have taken the GED test and they have to take it multiple times, and they be probably
yeah.
like math is off, or the comprehension part is off. That they got to go back and take it again. So the fact that you said that you passed it on the first go really speaks volumes.
Yeah, I passed it first go. Barber test passed it first go. It was
Mm.
crazy. I gotta tell this little story real quick. So there's one dude that was in there, man. He was on point. Like he was going through all the practical, exams, like all the different tests. He was like two tests and not tests, but two procedures rather in front of everybody. Yeah.
Uh
I don't know where they're at. They're right here. Hold on a second, bro.
huh. Yo, everybody that's asking these questions, just do know that all these questions will be asked. We just want to get an understanding of who Vic is. So we going through the beginning, we gonna have the middle, then we gonna have the end, and then we gonna drop questions, then we gonna ask questions. So definitely leave the questions. Watch the whole episode right now live. Ask your questions because we want to get to the nitty gritty. Yeah. So you're saying that homeboy was already a step ahead of everybody.
Yeah, he was already a step ahead of everybody, and then all of a sudden, like he went to the shampoo bowl, and I guess he turned up the water pressure. Now that's one thing one person told me: be careful about that water pressure because that thing will shoot across the room at
Yep.
the state board. For some reason, I don't know what's up with the water pressure over there, but they had it like just super strong, right? And so all of a sudden, you just see water shooting across the whole exam room, and that like threw him off. I want to say he failed, and it just sucked because I mean, it wasn't just because of that one thing. Because if he would have went and handled that properly, wiped it up, discarded it, whooped it, and he went, it was like it just threw him off his game. He put the thing down, then he went back to his model, and then you hear the examiner. He was like, "Aren't you going to clean that water up?" Like, you know what I mean? Like in front of everybody, and everybody's like, "Oh shit," you know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yep.
then like from there, he was just off. But before that, man, he was just like, I was looking over like, damn, this dude's killing the game. This dude
And
knows his shit.
and that's when you was
Huh?
doing it in a group setting, because now it's individually.
Well, I don't know if it's even individual because they don't even have a practical at all anymore. So it's not even individual. It's just a test.
Mm. Well, they
Yeah,
they
it's just
they
it's lit now. It's literally just a written test. There's no practical exam at all.
because they still do
It's
the
all
practical
written.
here. In
They
Georgia, they still do the practical and they do the written.
Yeah, see, and that to me, that's why I think like them taking out like less hours and less training. Like I feel like the pool of barbers that we're getting, like they're good. They got the skills, like cutting wise, they're
Yeah,
good. But it's like they don't. How could I say this? They don't have the same respect for the craft, I think, because there's just less to it. They think it's just all about the cutting part. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like the actual barbering aspect of it, the full package just isn't there anymore.
And
You know
then you
what I
got
mean?
some
I'm
of
not
these that
trying to
don't go to barber school, so if they're not getting the professionalism from barber school, learning the theory, learning the proper procedures, and they learning off of YouTube or learning from somebody else, then they get into these settings, and then that's all they know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, I mean, from what I know, from what I've heard, certain states, I know in California, you used to have to go to barber college, and then after that, you used to have to do a 2-year apprenticeship program.
Whoa.
So like you actually had to go to a barber shop after you went to barber college, almost like the electrician union. Like you
Yeah.
had to be you actually had to like, go to college, learn your shit, get your barber's license, then become an apprentice before you're an actual like barber. You know
Yep.
what
For
I
a while.
mean? To
For a
be
while.
considered. Yeah, and now it's just like, oh, I picked up some clippers, I'm a barber. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And it's like, you're a hair cutter, you're not a barber yet. You're a hair cutter. Like to me, like, all respect to people in the garage cutting. We all started like that. I
Mm-hmm.
started like that too. Well, not really a garage because I didn't have a house growing up, but I mean, I started off cutting at home in the laundromat, to be honest. And the little back, because we lived in like these little, they were like fourplexes, right? So we
Uh-huh.
had each fourplex had its own laundromat in the back. And I'd be out there having my clients sit down on a little chair, on a little, sometimes just even standing up like this and just fading them up like that.
What?
Yeah. That's how I started.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But I
So
still, I wasn't going around like I'm a barber. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I had respect for it. Like you can go change some, cut out some lines in the plumbing and stick a new, piece of PVC in there and wrap it up and call it a day. That doesn't mean you're a legit plumber. You know what
nope,
I mean? Like just because you pick up a pair of clippers and watch some YouTube and learn how to use a straight edge razor doesn't make you a legit barber. You know what I'm
nope,
saying?
nope.
Like it's just a term that gets loosely thrown around, and like people that don't have their license, they don't like to hear that stuff because they want to be able to say, "Oh, I'm a barber." You know what I mean?
Yep,
And I get it. Like I get it. I'm not no disrespect to anybody that's in that situation, but like for those of us that have paid, that have went to school and really take it serious like that, like it's almost like a slap in the face. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
There's a difference between a barber and a hair cutter, and I see that all the
Yeah.
time. If you ain't take the
And
time
and and
and the craft, no.
Yeah, and the hair cutters a lot of times are 10 times doper than the actual licensed barbers. And
Absolutely.
I'm already nice with the clippers, so I'm better than you, and you're a licensed barber. You know what I mean? But it's like, oh
Yep.
well, you still not a barber though.
So you know what's so funny is that I always have this conversation. There's always conversations about if a person that go to barber school is better than a person that don't go to barber school. And I say it's not about if you go to barber school or not. It's about the continuing education and what you learn after barber school. But I respect you more if you take the time to go and get your license, to learn the theory, to learn the history, to learn the procedure, and when it comes to sanitation and safety. Then because most people that come out of barber school is not going to be nice. They just know the fundamentals. You taught
Right.
to learn. What you learning is to pass the test, just like regular school. You learning, they give you all this information to pass the test. Once you get out of school, now is the real world, and it's going to be real world training that's going to get you to where you really want to be. And they say, well, what if a person been in a barbershop for 10 years and don't got a license? I'm like, okay, well, they could be the nicest, but they're not going to be respected. And there was a time where these hair shows wanted to see your credentials. Now, there's a lot of people that's out there that's on these platforms that's not even licensed, but
Yeah.
they super nice. So we respect the people that have the license because you took the time to go and pay to go to school. And those that went the apprentice route, because I did both. I went the apprentice route first, and I just didn't work out because I felt like I wasn't learning what I needed to. So then I went to
Mhm.
barber school, and once I went to barber school, I was able to complete my hours and do what I had to do so I get my license in New York. And then when I came down to Georgia, there was always talks about who's better, the licensed barber or the unlicensed barber. And
I
we
mean,
just so respect.
that's just a dumb argument because it's like it's just an individual thing. Like some people are more artistically inclined, so obviously the guy that can draw and that can that's artistic with music or with his hands or whatever is gonna probably be the better hair cutter. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's like common to me. That's just common sense. But I mean, you know,
Yep. Yep.
I don't
So
even try not to get caught up in arguments like that because it's like you know.
so at the barber school and you got your license, what was your next step?
um. So my next step. Oh, let me back up before that. So this is a pivotal moment for me. So this is I always like to add this part into the story because this is a big deal.
Uh
Um, so my boy goes, you should become a barber. So what I did from there was I told a few people that I wanted to become a barber, and I told one of my sister's friends. He was probably in his like 40s or 50s at the time, and I was a teenager, whatever, 19. And I was
huh.
like, yeah, I want to become a barber. I'm thinking about going to barber college. She's like, oh, well, I know some real successful barbers. Let me take you over to their barber shop so you could talk to them and ask them questions or whatever, right? So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, cool. This is it right here for me, right? I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna get this game, and I'm gonna, put it to use, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I go over there, and these guys are like in their 60s, and now I mean I could sit there and talk to some 6-year-old barbers and get game from. I can get game from anybody. I can get game from the bum on the street. I can get game from the janitor, from the CEO. It doesn't matter. Like I know how to say, okay, this is some game. I need this, and this is I don't need this or I do need this. But at that time, my thing was like these guys are just old. Like they're not hip. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of young guys today, they're looking at us like maybe not looking at us like that, but they're definitely probably looking at the old 60, 70-year-old barber the same way that I was, right?
Yep.
But anyways, so I asked them all. I was like, "Do you guys all own your own house?" Like these are basic questions that I want to know. As a barber, am I going to be able to make enough money to own my own house? Right? Again, the game was way different back then. There was no information. Like now, these young kids are saying, "Oh, they're seeing barbers having and doing and being doing and having rather," and they're like, "Wow, I could be like that too." Okay, boom, let me go do this. Right? See,
Yep.
back then it wasn't like that. Unless you knew somebody, but it wasn't online, so you couldn't really gauge like how successful you could become. You know what I mean? So I was like just turned off. Long story short, I was turned off, and then I wasted about 6 more months working at some vitamin shop. You guys got vitamin shops over there, like
Yep.
GNC kind of? Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I was working in vitamin shop, you know, for like maybe 6 more months, and I was just like, damn, what the hell am I gonna do? I was still cutting on the side, messing around, cutting friends and stuff. And I think another dude was like, man, like it kept coming to me. Like people kept going, man, you got what it takes to be a barber. You should be a barber. So I was just like, I remember I used to get like anxiety. I'd be literally like laying in my bed, just staring at the ceiling, like, fuck, what the fuck am I gonna do with my life? You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
I thought for sure I was gonna be a pro bodybuilder, like millionaire pro bodybuilder, get all the endorsements. You know what I mean? Like that was what I had all my sights on, right? And I'm very big on, law of attraction and like having your sights set on something and going all the way. So so once and I was always like that ever since I was a kid with the popping and everything. I started popping, back in 96, 95, 96, and I had that vision back then. I'm gonna be the baddest fucking popper. I'm gonna be able to eat everybody up. I'm gonna go far with this. I'm gonna get into movies. But then as I started getting older, the dream started dying out, whatever, and then I got into bodybuilding, and then that happened where I was like, you know what, this ain't for me. And so when it came to the barbering thing, so 6 months went by, and then I went back and I revisited the idea, and I remember who was it? Somebody was going to this place called Hair Masters, which was like a black barber shop in my area back in the time. It's no longer around. And I remember being like, man, and he was like, man, those dudes make hella money. So I remember I called him and I was like, hey, can I speak to somebody about going to barber college? And the lady who owned the the barber shop back at the time, her name was Lana. She's like one of the biggest mentors for me. I mean, she never like specifically mentored me, but just what she did for all of us, I can get into that later. But for right now, I'll just keep it. She was just really good to us, man. She was the owner, and she let us slide with a lot of shit, man. She was a good lady, and she was the dopest with the fucking. She was the dopest with the cuts. That's where all my style of cutting it all comes from her.
Wow.
Vietnamese lady, bro. Stupid
Wow.
bars, keeping all that dark right there while fading it. That shit all came from her,
Really?
literally. Yes, she was nasty, bro. But she got taught by this other black barber named Anthony. He's like an OG legend in San Jose too. There's a lot of OGs in San Jose, bro. That the barber game don't know nothing about, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like these dudes were fucking nice back in the day, like stupid nice.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so she goes, "Oh, TJ, he just graduated Barber College. Let me," and she's hardcore Vietnamese accent. So she's like, "Let me put him on the phone." So he gets on the phone. He goes, "Yo, what's up, man?" He's like, his name's Tyron Jacobs. Shout out to him.
Salute.
Always, I always got to add this to the story, man, because this dude, he didn't know me from nothing. I even wrote about him in the Barber Bible. Like I put it on there, man. He didn't know me from a can of paint. He didn't have to do what he did, but he was that him, Lana, and Dwayne. These three people were like that door that just kept opening, and then the next door kept open, and I just kept walking through, and they all just open up doors for me. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
like I got major love and respect for them like forever. But so then he goes, yeah, come by the barber shop, and he's like, no, I'll take you to the barber college. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then so I go over there. And let me rewind real quick. So there was a barber college in San Jose at the time, and the guy who ran it, his name was Carlos, way older gentleman. I could see why, at the time I could say like I thought he was a jerk, but now I realize he was just old, and he was just over it, and he was like probably in his late 60s, and he was like coming up on retirement. And I remember I had went there and I was like, "How much is Barber College?" And then he was like, "It's 6,500 or 5,500 or whatever it was back then." And then
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "But and I only take cash, no financial aid, no nothing. I didn't have no money, so I was like, fuck, I'm fucked again."
Cash money.
Yeah, I was like, I'm fucked again. I don't got shit. How the fuck am I gonna get into school? You know what I'm saying? Because I had heard from different people that you can get grants and shit. And he was
Yeah.
like, I don't take none. He was like, I don't take none of that stuff. So long story short, I called the barber shop. I talked to TJ. TJ said, come through. He's like, I got you. I'm gonna take you to the barber school where they'll sign you up. They'll get you all the financial aid, the grants, whatever you need, right? And I was like, okay, cool. So I came through. So we're driving. We get on 101. I know you're not familiar with it probably, but for those that don't know, 101 goes all up and down California. So we get on 101 and we're driving for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, dude, where the hell are we going? Like, he's like, oh, man, we're going to San Francisco. And I was like, what? Like, hell no, I ain't going to freaking, I'm not going to San Francisco every day for barber college, right?
How far is
No,
that though?
it's about, like, on a good day, 45 minutes,
I thought, okay, man,
right?
I ain't too
It's
bad
not
though.
that bad, but that's on a good day. Like traffic and all that, you're talking about an hour. Like you smashing on a perfect day, you could get there in 45, 50 minutes. But for me at the time, growing up in San Jose, my dad actually lives in San Francisco. He's been living in San Francisco since like '88. But but for me, like I grew up going out there to see my pops like once a month or whatever, once every couple months. But I didn't like, it was always like a mission. Like I just grew up always being close to home, and anything outside of 20, 30 minutes, that's like a mission,
Yeah,
right?
I get it.
So
I
I
get
was
it.
just like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go over here and go to school real quick. I'm gonna go with him and check it out, whatever, but I'm probably not gonna go. In my head I was already like, I'm not gonna go, I'm not fucking going all the way out here,
Yep.
right? So we pull up, and it's in Hunters Point, San Francisco, Bayview Barber College. I don't know if you're familiar.
Uh-uh.
Anybody that's not familiar with Hunters Point, when you're done with this, go on YouTube and type in Hunters Point, San Francisco, and just look it up. That's all I gotta say. But
Okay.
anyway, so I walk into the school. I'm the only white dude, but that's normal for me. I'm used to being the only white person I grew up at, anyways. But this was a little different. This is way more just hood than anything that I grew up in, and I grew up pretty hood, right? And
Yep.
yeah, but it's just San Jose hood and San Francisco hood is two way different situations. You know what I mean? San Francisco's it's a lot faster. San Jose's fast, but it's nothing like San Francisco and Oakland and Richmond and all the whole Bay Area. San Jose's like considered South Bay for those that don't know. It's not
Okay.
it's part of the Bay Area, but it's not the Bay. And I'm from San Jose, but I'll even admit, like, a lot of San Jose people want to be like, "Oh, San Jose's the Bay Area," but it's not. It's not the same. It's different, especially back then. You know what I mean?
I get it. I
But
get it.
yeah, so we go and I walk in, I'm like, oh shit, like these dudes is looking at me like fucking meat, bro. Just looking at me like this motherfucker, who the fuck is this dude? Like, you know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying? Like fresh fish, bro. Like you just got into the pen, you know what I mean? Just walking in and food's just looking like, and that's just how I felt, like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, who am I, where am I at? I didn't know nobody. These dudes all know each other. They're all from right there, Hunters Point area. Well, most of
Yep.
them, anyways. And long story short, I told myself, I was like, man, this is gonna be hard, but I'm gonna make this fucking work because if this is my only option, this is my only opportunity, and it ended up being the best fucking opportunity and the best option and the most, the best place for me to grow and become the barber and the person that I am. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So yeah, it was awesome, bro. Like I still talk to everybody. We have a brotherhood actually. It's called Bay Area Barber Brotherhood, and it started by a few individuals: Anton Kura, um, Randy. Many people know Cake and his Randy on from
Yes,
YouTube back in
sir.
the day,
The
and
OG.
yeah, Phil Alapati. A lot of different guys, man. They all everybody went to Bayview Barber College. All the barbers that people look up to in the Bay, pretty much, like Shane Nesbitt. You ever heard of Shane Nesbitt?
Mm-hmm.
White dude from San Mateo.
Yep.
Yeah, like yeah, pretty. I mean, everybody went to that school, and it was crazy, bro. Like it
Wow.
was it was. I can't sit here and say that it was the best. I don't want to down talk Dwayne because again, he opened up the owner of the school. He opened up doors for me. He showed me a lot. He got me in there. He got me my school paid for. So I got much respect for him too. But yeah, it just it wasn't the school that you go into and everybody's on the mannequins and everything is all. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
wasn't like that, but it was everything that I needed. You know what I'm saying? And it was everything everybody else needed at the time, and it worked, and it made me who
Yeah.
I am. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So it's like, how can I hate on that? You know what I mean? Like, how can I even say, oh, my school didn't teach me, or my school we didn't learn? It's like, man, that shit made me who I am. So the struggle, getting up every day, either staying at my dad's house, some few days out of the week, and then moving through the city to get to school, or coming all the way from San Jose to get to the school. It was hard, but I told myself, I'm gonna do this shit, and when I'm fucking done, I'm gonna fucking take this shit all the way. I'm gonna go as far as I can. I even remember one day he goes Dwayne had me sit in the room in one of the back rooms, and he goes and he brings a little old ass VHS tape with the little 13-inch screen TV with the VHS in the TV, the old school
Yep.
unit, right? And he pops the tape in. It was his brother from Atlanta. I forget his name, bro. I really want to, because he was nice, bro. And he was just like, man, you got to get your lining down, right? That's how he talked. He's like, you got to get your lining down, Vic, because that was one thing I couldn't line up. Like, I could line up, but it just wasn't like I wasn't doing it to what he wanted to see. So he was like, watch this dude right here. So he does a sick ass lineup. He does just a clean low cut on top with a bald fade and a nice little bam 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 bam, like just a clean little part. And I
Uh
was
huh.
like, damn that. And I was like, damn, now that was sick, right? And I hadn't even seen shit like that yet. So once I
Mm.
seen that, he was like an OG brother from Atlanta too, and it wasn't Alex C. Campbell. But yeah, much respect to him. Shout out to him too. He's the
Uh,
original.
Shout
You
out
know what I'm
to
saying?
Alex Campbell.
But
Yep.
yeah, straight up. And then yeah, so I watched that, and I remember having a thought in there like, man, if when I get out of here one day, and I remember I was on the little train back home, and I was like, man, what if one day I get good enough and I could make my own instructional tapes? You know what I'm saying? And that's when that shit sparked. You know what I mean? And then later on I ended up seeing Jay the Barber on YouTube. You know Jay the Barber, how to become a barber.com,
That's the
Easy Blade.
OG.
Yeah, the OG. Yeah, he's before me. We gotta give credit to the OGs before us.
Yep.
So that's my boy. We still talk too all the time. Not all the
Every
time,
time I
but
see
I'm sure.
Jay, I gotta give him his flowers because I bought his DVDs, the I Become a Barber.com. I bought 1, 2, and 3. And if I didn't buy those DVDs to learn how to use the masters, I was lost. So his
Yeah,
DVD, and this is before the YouTube thing was big, but you couldn't get everything. But he was making
yeah.
DVDs, you know.
He's the barber entrepreneur, bro. Him, Alex C. Campbell, and Al's Millions. They're the original. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Straight
Yep.
up. And then Randy was like the first one to go viral, like real viral, get millions of views and shit. And then I think after that, that's when I came in shortly after Randy. Because Randy
Randy
was,
was the fast feed master because he used fast feeds. Everybody else was using Andis, and he was a
yeah,
Filipino barber cutting a lot of his Filipino dudes in the garage. And he explained it because then you didn't know what clippers to buy. So everybody was talking about masters, but then a lot of people wasn't talking about buying the Oscars except for the 76ers. But when he was using the
right.
fast feed, he was using the fast feeds. I'm like, oh, and he was doing
Yeah,
fire
back
cuts.
then the classic barber setup that even when I went to Hair Masters that everybody was on, even in barber college, it was the Masters, Andis T outliners, and some 76ers. Your
Yep.
Andis Masters was your adjustable. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Your T outliner was for your hairlines and and beards and all that. And yeah, that was like the classic setup. And yeah, he was the one. I mean, Oster should be paying that man like
It
straight up.
should.
Because, but truth be told, here's the thing: that's Randy's responsible for people knowing about it, but that all comes from James, another legend from Bayview Barber College.
Uh-huh.
Shane Nesbitt was big on the Osters, but see these guys never got on YouTube and really put their shit out there, so people don't know who they are. But these
Yeah.
guys, that was pretty much all them cats were using the the
The
feeds,
fast,
yeah, the
fast.
fast feeds,
And
yep,
you see, but so here's the problem, right? Because there's so many people saying that that there's history here and there, and yes, we have those individuals like Kiggins Randy that learned from somebody else. He took what he learned and navigated it to where he wanted to be. but we don't know his OG. We don't know your OG. So this is where
Yeah,
we bridge
yeah.
that gap and get an understanding of the people that was very influential. Those three people that you spoke of that really catapulted you to be in the barber school and like mold you and groom you to who you are. All these people have stories in your life that has created who you are. Like you say, Al Millions is my OG. Jada Barber is my OG. K Get and Randy is my OG. You my OG. You know, there's a lot of people that's my OG that I learned from. That I took the time out
It's,
every single
I still
day.
have a problem with people saying OG.
You an
I mean, I am
OG,
for.
brother. You got an OG award, so you gotta cut
I
it
am.
out.
No, I
So
know. I mean, is 41 old enough to be OG?
yes, we unk, bro. Yes,
Okay, okay. I mean,
we
I get we're unk, but I thought you had to be 50 to be OG.
no. The OG
Because
is
like
offering.
in the popping game, you got to be at least 45, 50 to be called an OG. So that's why, and like in the gang world, you know what I mean? It's like you can't be. I mean, 40-year-old, I guess, but like a real OG, we look at it like it's 50 years old over here,
Well,
anyways.
we
So
looked at as the old. Well, it's just like how they say that senior citizen age just changes like every couple years, where you can't
yeah,
retire to a certain amount of years. You know, ages just change, so that the terminology of when you become the from to OG to big homie to twin, all of that,
yeah,
all of that stuff. It just changes, bro. But when you
yeah,
get
yeah.
recognized by your peers, like you was recognized by Albanians, you
But
was
I mean
awarded.
now, okay,
That's what it
I'm
is.
41. Okay, I'm 40, 41 now. So yeah, you people can call me OG now, legit. But what I tripped out on is people were calling me OG like at 33, 34, like 30. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
because they learned from me
but
on
that's how you.
YouTube.
But it's
You know what I'm
because the way
saying?
you carry yourself also. So you can have longevity is the way you carry yourself is what you've done in the industry, and you have
Yeah,
longevity in it. That yeah, you've been putting out YouTube videos since 2010. There's people that have been putting out YouTube videos since 2021. So when you look at the longevity of a person's career, you have to put them in that category as OG because you're in that class.
right.
hmm
Yeah.
We old, bro. That's it. It's hard for
No, no,
us
no.
to
I have no
explain.
problem with that part. I just
I
used to
do.
trip out
Yeah.
I just used to trip out when I was 30, 35. You know, people are like, "Oh, OG, he's the OG YouTuber." I'm like, I guess, but I mean, I'm only 30, 35, and now I'm 41. So now I'll be like, okay, I'm an OG now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And they said it's
Yeah.
also because you are pioneer influencer to them, to us. So that's a fact.
Right.
You're OG. Yep. Plus, you was awarded one of the OG Barber Awards coming from Al Million. So once you in that stature, once you get awarded by the OG the OGs, then you know. But the OG that we talk about is the individual that's offering game. Some people want to talk about it as far as being in a certain age bracket. But 40 and up, I think that we just OGs now because what we bring into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. So as far as barber school goes, you had finished barber school. Then what was next for you? Did
So
you
then
go
I
into a
went. So then
shop?
I. So then my boy TJ he dipped out from the Hairmasters barbershop that I had originally called to figure out how to get to barber school and all that.
hmm
And he was working with he had started cutting some of the 49ers, so they were paying him good. And one of them had fronted him like 10, 15 G's, and they were like, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna open up a shop, Vic." So I was in barber college and I was cutting out of my house at the same time. I would come home and have 15, 20 haircuts lined up at 6, 7 o'clock at night as soon as I got home. And I'd have to knock them all out, boom, hit the sack, then try to be up in early and go back to school the next day. A lot of times I wouldn't make it. I'd be like, "Fuck this shit, I'm too tired. I'm not going today." You know what I mean? But
Yep.
whatever the case, he knew that I had, let's put it this way, when I was in barber college, I had more clientele than barbers in the shop. Way more
Wow.
clients. So
Wow.
when I first got into the barber shops, a lot of the barbers were like jealous. And I don't want to say jealous, but some barbers I could feel that hate, that jealousy, because I was in there just already cracking. You know what I'm saying? And
hmm
people were like, "Damn, what the fuck? Like
hmm
who the fuck is this dude?" You know what I
Bobby,
mean?
hold
Like,
up.
I mean, people were already hearing about me. I was already building a reputation like around the city as like this dude cutting out of his house. I was already busting the free. I'm telling you, after I watched that video of of the OG from Atlanta doing the little part, oh man, I went
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I started fucking up heads left and right. I remember my first one looked like a bullshit ass Charlie Brown zigzag design on this. It was ugly as hell, but it was like every one after that, I just got better and better. I know you remember my freestyle designs back on the Barber Society back in the day on Facebook. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I was going crazy. So that's when I had already gotten good. I was killing it, bro. I was doing like 4 or 5 fucking freestyle designs a day. I
Uh-huh.
was killing. And back then it was like $18, $20 a haircut. So for designs and shit like that, we were charging probably like 45, 50. So I'd hit like
Whoa.
4 or 5. Yeah, so I'd hit like 4 or 5 of them. I know that sounds crazy to hear, like, damn. And I was hitting the whole head, for 60, right? Or $40 for a whole fat one on the side. And people are like, now you hear people like, what? You were doing that for $40? But it's like, man, back then, that was good. That was hella good
Good money.
money.
Good money back
You know
then.
what I
Yep.
mean?
That was good money back
Shit,
then.
if I was hitting 3 or 4 of those plus, 10 regular haircuts, 15 regular haircuts, I was
Yep.
coming home with, $600 as a young 20, 21, 22 year old.
That's some great
You
money,
know what
bro.
I mean? Yeah.
So so you were saying that your boy was cutting the 49ers
Oh yeah,
and he
yeah.
had the
My
money.
bad. So yeah,
So
so he opened up a little barber shop called Pro Styles, which is still in business to this day, and he ended
salute.
up selling it. So he had me go over there, and I started cutting with him right
Uh-huh.
there. And then from there, Lana had heard about me, and I was already kind of like me and TJ. We're still cool to this day, but working in the same shop, and he'll even tell you we started funking a little bit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We almost threw hands a couple times.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
happening.
yeah, it happens, right? And I was always like, I always had that respect for him. Like I didn't want to, like, if had he not been the one to take me to barber college and all that shit, I probably would have whooped his ass. But I was like, this is my boy. I got, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna fuck him. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go there with him. But there was a few
Yeah.
times where he was. If I had turned around and really went crazy on him, we definitely would have been fighting. But he would, you know what I mean. And I was just like, whatever. I'm not gonna take it there. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
my boy. He's my boy though. Much love to him. But he'll tell you we almost fought a couple times.
Yeah.
Um.
You getting a phone call?
So then Lana told my which is now my brother-in-law. He was just a friend at the time. I just knew him through how did I know him through? I think I knew him through breaking and popping, obviously. So
Uh-huh.
he hit me up, and my brother-in-law now, his name's George, and he goes, "Yo, Lana wants to talk to you, man. You should come through. Come talk to her." So I went over there, and plus Hairmasters was right down the street from my house because I live on the south side, and San Jose is a big ass city. It's huge,
Mm-hmm.
huge, one of the biggest. They call it one of the safest big cities in the United States, but I don't know about it. I don't know about all that, but certain areas, yeah, but certain areas, no. But so so I was like, I was already kind of not really feeling the vibe with my boy and the overall shop and shit like that. Not to hate on Pro Styles, God forbid they're listening. They're like, what the fuck's he talking about? But yeah, I mean, it's a cool shop, but it wasn't for me at the time, right?
I get it.
And yeah. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go see what's up with Lana. And then sure enough, I went over there and I was feeling the vibe a little more. And I was like, right down the street from my house. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm just gonna come over here. And then I was at Hairmasters for probably like 4 or 5 years. And that's where if you go back and watch my first couple YouTube videos, that's where they were shot at. I was Hairmasters.
I watched the first one today, the one that you dropped in this 31st. I was like, that
Hey,
was
hey, now tell me, now tell me this. Was anybody back in those days, because you were already in Barber Society LA. I remember your name, Tara the Bar, right? It's a name you can't forget certain names in the game. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
remember. You know what I mean? It was you. I remember you, Ron Classic Cuts. I remember obviously Al's Millions, everybody. But I even remember the so-called little people, not little people, don't take that the wrong way. But you guys weren't like, trying to be somebody. You guys were just in there. You know what I mean? Saturating your minds with barbering. I remember. That's what I'm saying. I remember you guys posting cuts. I remember any name that you could throw out there right now, I'll remember them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, but they're right. So there was the heavy, hitters, right? So-called heavy hitters. I don't even like to hype myself up like that, but yeah, I mean, I was a heavy hitter. You know what I'm saying already,
Hmm.
and tell me this though: were people already using the straight edge on the hairline, hairline like I was, or like from what I remember, most barbers were just fucking lining up with the T outliners. They were not using the razor yet, and
Yep.
they were not using the screen shaver on the fades. Because I
Nah.
remember people used to fucking message me. They used to be like, "Dude, how do you get the line out once you put the screen shaver on the fade like that?" And I'm like, bro, you got to keep it away from the fade. It's real simple. Like, don't go up into the fade area. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you gotta understand that like most black barbers couldn't use a straight razor on a client or use a shaver.
They
So
could, but there's a different way though. But definitely a razor, because I see black barbers all over the place doing it now.
now, but then well, especially on the East Coast, a lot of Spanish barbers were using a razor, not black barbers.
Also, they were
They wasn't.
okay. Well, you telling me so? I don't know because I'm from the West Coast and I didn't know that. So game me up. So there were barbers using the razors because like honestly, like I remember getting on YouTube and seeing Jay the barber and he was using the razor and I was like, oh shit, okay, this guy's using the razor like me. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I wouldn't like nobody, even Randy, even when I was in barber college, Randy, none of them cats were using the razor. None of them
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there
on the
was some
hairline. It
barbers
was
I
all
seen.
just
There was some barbers I seen using razors, but not a lot. You know, one of my OGs in Queens, Tony Touch, he was using a razor, but I really seen him use a razor.
I remember. Hey, I remember him. I remember
Tony
that
Touch.
name, Tony Touch.
Yeah, so he used to do a lot of razor work.
Like you said earlier, Jermaine Walker. When we were talking on the phone earlier, you said Jermaine Walker. I remember Jermaine.
OG,
I
yeah,
remember
OG Walker.
everybody, bro. Like
Yep.
that was I remember those days. That shit was crazy, bro. I remember. You remember Matt? Like to me, the only person that could see me on the freestyle designs back in that time was Marcus P. Hatch. That dude
Marcus
was
P.
that dude was yeah
Well,
MPH.
that's that's Puffy's barber.
I mean, one of them, yeah, because
Yeah,
originally Puffy's barber was. I mean, many
was
people have
Curtis.
been Puffy's barber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Curtis, then Pacino's
You
was
know.
Puffy's barber.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, yeah, and then yeah, I think that he ended up having him. But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, he was nice, but I wasn't using the paint. You know what I mean? Not no offense to paint, but I wasn't using that. My shit was just all clippers and blade right after. I wasn't adding the paint in, so I want my designs didn't pop like his did.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing was back then. I used to be like, yeah, let me see you doing one without the paint. I used to throw little jabs at him, and he would never really respond. But he was nice. You know what I
The,
mean?
the fact that you talk about the Barber Society, that's like 2011.
Yeah, yeah,
When when that started, and even though it's going on to this day, then it was so important, it was so vital. That and when Al Millions made making the cut, where everybody was going on online to watch videos and upload videos, like those are the things that we had that was helping us stay in tune to what's going on. Because from when I did my research, YouTube came out in 2005. So you had that 5 year window where it wasn't, people didn't know what the hell was going on or how to
right.
upload, and didn't have cameras, and cell phone quality was bad. So we
Yeah,
had those things, like, and then if you was on Facebook, first you had to be a college student to be on Facebook. Then they opened up to everybody. Then it was the floodgates, and now we making groups. And when they made the Barber Society page, that was just like anything you needed to know, you could ask. Right here, you
yep.
can learn, you can upload things, and that's what helped us, all us barbers from then, 2011, 2012, to really get the information. So the fact that you bring that up, I haven't heard, no, unless you're an OG, nobody's bringing stuff up like that.
What about the Barber Society and all that?
Yeah, yeah,
Do people still go? I don't really go on there like that. Do people still go on there? Is
yeah.
it pretty? Is it still big or not?
It's not as big, but there's new people that come on. Chris is still the one that's doing the stuff, but behind the scene. But and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Al is one of the administrators also for it. So they are the ones that's monitoring it. But it's still up and running. There's still new barbers coming on, asking questions. But now there's a lot of barbers on there that's trying to sell you on mentorships and stuff of that nature. And but there's still barbers on there that's asking questions to how to build a clientele and this and that. So that's what I go in there for. I like to go in there and see what's going on. I like to comment on all of the new barbers that's looking for some inspiration, and they feel like that's the outlet that they could go to. Now you got 245 have their thing where they got their own group, their own groups, and it's similar to what that is. As long as barbers find some kind of way to have positive criticism and be able to have great dialogue. That's what it's for.
Right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember going on there and spending at least a half an hour to an hour a night going back and forth, writing, posting the haircuts. That was like your claim. That was like the claim to fame back then. Bust a clean ass fade and throw it on the Barber Society. See how many likes you could get.
That was before the barbershop connect trying to get a repost.
Yeah, that was it right there.
So was you ever a part of admin?
No, I never, and I feel bad, dude, to say that because like I look up to Al so much, and I just, dude, my mom passed away in 2012. And like once
Okay.
that happened, and then like first I had my daughter, then I opened up my shop. Then my mother passed away a few months after I opened up my shop, and it was just like bam, 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 all this shit. And I mean, it's not an excuse, but like to be honest with you, that's why a lot of stuff I fell back from because I almost lost it. Like mentally, I was like, man, I just got to focus on this right here and just
Yeah.
family, and that's it. You know what I mean? And all of a
Mhm.
sudden, I turned around and feel like I just got left behind. You know what I mean? But I always knew, like, okay, I can come back at any time because I got that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know I can come back. I know I have the skills. I know that I have the know how. You know what I mean? People still know who I am. I always knew that, and but I had to overcome a lot of different like things within myself to be able to get to where I can actually speak on stuff again and actually have that passion to want to do that. You know what I mean? But man, I feel bad because like I was always been like, man, don't even trip. You don't got to pay. Just get on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a wave,
And
bro. Being on
yeah,
making a cut.
it's still.
First,
I mean, it's still cracking, right? That I mean, he's still doing that, right?
well, he doesn't do admin no more. Admin got dismantled probably like 2015, 16. Now he does the OG Barber Conference. He's always.
Oh yeah. Right,
Yeah,
right, right. Yep.
but admin was where where we from the conference calls every Thursday was very informative, very vital to the barber industry. Barbers that had questions that didn't understand how to build a clientele and things of that nature to the making the cut. Where you could go, it was like a Facebook. It was like YouTube before YouTube. It was like MySpace where you could create your own profile and upload your own videos, and then you follow everybody back, and then you're able to create a network. So that's what that was. And then he made admin, which was like the 2.0 of it, where it was the same thing, but now he's teaching you how to create products and be an entrepreneur and show you other ways to make money that's not behind the chair. So
Right.
and then from there, it was going to hair shows, him teaching, building a squad. We was out there going to all these different hair shows, 2013, 14, 15, to what it is now, which is just celebrating the OG barbers, people that's very vital into the barber industry now, that they handpick every single year, and just keeping that tradition going. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but the only reason why I ask is there's so many barbers, um, OG barbers, that I'm curious to know if they was a part of admin, if they was on those conference calls every Thursday night. I know, even I asked, if I'm not mistaken, I think I asked Chris Basio if he was on the calls, and he said he was
Yeah,
on
he
the
was
calls.
on there. I remember him saying it. Yeah, he was on
Yeah.
there.
So
Yeah,
those
that's
those
why,
are
man.
things.
You gotta take your hat off. I mean, I take my hat off to Bazio because he's always been, like he's always done what he needed to do to become successful. So you gotta respect that shit.
Yeah,
you know. But my thing with Al too, like I've always had that one-on-one relationship with Al, and like man, anytime, like I feel like I could call him right now and he's gonna answer. Like
absolutely.
literally, let's put it to the test. I'll call him right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
No, but like literally, if I don't call, if he doesn't answer, he'll call me right back, or he'll
yeah.
text me. Yeah, I'll call you right back.
He
Like
definitely
he's
gonna
always
answer.
been, yeah, he's always been there for me, and he's always given me, any questions I've ever had about anything, he's always giving me hella game. So I feel like, I was always a part of AbMan, even if I wasn't on the actual thing. He's always like been, there for me. Like even when I was going through my stuff with my mom, that was a big thing too, man. Like at the conference that he threw, at
Hmm.
the conference that he does every year, the first one, I was a part of that. And he had me come out there to get the award and all that, and we all had to get up on the podium and give a speech. And man, I just started thinking about the time that my mom had just passed away, and he was pouring into me and giving me game, like how to navigate and how to just stay focused and stuff even back then. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, I started breaking down right there. I started crying right there on the podium in front of everybody, man, because I couldn't even. I'm glad nobody posted that shit. Cause I was literally like a big baby up there, bro. Cause I remember clearly, and it was crazy, bro. Cause I wasn't the only one. Like everybody that, it's like he even went up there after. He was like, man, you guys are crazy, man. I made this for you guys, and you guys are coming up here talking about every single one. You keep coming up here talking about me. This is about you guys. This is for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everybody just he's like everybody's dad, bro. He's like everybody's
Godfather.
dad in the barber game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
everybody just had to go
I was
ahead.
able to receive my award 2024. And again, me running around with Al, me and him got a bunch of history. And again, like it just like even when I was on the podium, and then it took me back to what I was going through, and my mom's passed away. I think like
Sorry to hear that.
2009, thank you, 2009, 2010, and you trying to figure it out also. And then that's when I got into barbering, because I was like, how can I sustain the lifestyle that my mom has left me? And I didn't know what to do. So barbering was what was the next thing where I could be my own boss and make money every single day, so I could sustain a lifestyle for my family. And when I was gearing up to become a barber and learn these things, that's when I got introduced to Al in like 2010 to 2011. And then from there, it's always just been growth and him nourishing me and informing me of the things that I need to do and how to build a clientele. And because he has the ministry background, he's always going to console in you all the things that's going to make you grow. And even though he do the things for us, we always got to uplift him, because a lot of people don't do that. They don't, they don't
Right.
celebrate the people that have put game to them. And when everybody speaks great things about Al Means, that's everybody from Jay Majors to Chris Bosfield to me to you. And he's one of the godfathers of the barber game, and we got to just keep his name lifted, because once he's gone, God forbid that don't happen no time soon. But people leave this earth, and they just get forgotten.
Right. That ain't happening. He's
Nope.
definitely gonna be, God forbid, man. But yeah, he's definitely made his mark, man. For
Absolutely, and
sure.
it makes his children proud. His son Max has taken on the next role of being a barber, being in the shop with his father. I talk to him from time to time and see him at the hair shows, and it's just good to see that. Because neither one of my kids cut hair. One of my kids, my oldest son, he's thinking about learning how to cut hair now that he's 18. And that'd be great to just learn the trade, even if you don't take it all the way, because it's just something good to have that's be able to make you money at any time, anywhere in the world. But to see that Al's son, is taking on that next role to take over what his father's doing, it's just a blessing.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Yep.
So as far as then you got into the barbershop, when did you leave that barbershop and get your own?
Well, so from there, then one of the barbers, my Nigerian homie Shay, that he was also a barber at a. He was actually one of the first barbers that I really looked up to too. He gave me. I remember he was the one that I asked. I was like, How much do you make in a week?" And he's like, "Oh, I make like about 1,000 at least, like that." And I remember being like, and this is back then, bro. He was like, "Oh, I make about 1,000." I'm like, "Damn, are you serious? 1,000?" Like when I heard that $1,000 cash, I was like, count me in, bro."
Hmm.
And so he opened up a barber shop. Sorry, I got ADD, so I go all over the place. But yeah, he opened up a barber shop called All Stars.
Uh-huh.
And then, so I went over, I had a good relationship with him. You know, not that I had a bad one with Lana, but I just felt like, I just felt called to go with him. So I went with Shay for a little bit. If you ever seen that video of me popping, I'm popping inside the barber shop, and then I get
Uh-huh.
on the bike and I ride the bike, not a
Yeah,
literal
yeah.
bike, but I do the little like I'm riding a bike and shit.
Yeah.
That was at All Stars.
Okay.
So the first one was Hair Masters, then there was All Stars, and then there, you know who Dave Diggs is?
I know the name.
Yeah, Dave Diggs. He owns the Barber's Inc. barbershop. It's a pretty well
Yes,
known
yes,
barbershop.
yes.
Right. So he had just got out the pan, and me and him just clicked like immediately. Me and Dave were like just on the same wavelength. He seen what I was doing on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I taught him some stuff. He taught me some stuff. He already knew how to build websites and all kinds of. He's the one who built me my first website, VickDaMone.com, where I had my DVDs that cut above the rest and all that. So
Mm,
he helped me with that shit. That dude was a fucking brainiac, bro. Back then,
nice.
even,
Nice.
right?
Nice.
And so me and him hit it off. We were hella cool. It was always kind of like, it wasn't like I was trying to leave Shay. It was just, or Lana, it was just, you got to go where you feel like you're called to go
Yeah.
and keep walking. It wasn't like I was trying to bounce around from shops, but I just felt like when the time had came that there was no more for me to really learn. And I felt like this is where I got to go to get more game. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I didn't want to leave like that, but long story short, I mean, Shay was always cool though. Me and him never, were in no type of bad relationship. Not like that, but you know what I'm saying. We
Yeah.
had no bad relations, whatever. We're always cool. We never had a argument. Like how I was saying with me and TJ, that never happened with nobody else.
Uh-huh.
So um, so then Dave opened up the Barber's Inc. and he was like, "Yo, you need to come with me." And I wasn't going to at first, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to do shit like that. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, "Nah, that's fucked up." I just got here maybe like 8 months ago, and I'm already bouncing and shit. And
Yeah.
everything just kept evolving and happening so fast. And me and Dave we were cool, man.
That's
So
quicker, yeah.
I went to the Barber's Inc. with Dave, and we were just expanding ideas, boom, 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 and it was just like. Next thing you know, I already had my money right for a couple years prior, and I already knew in my heart that I was gonna end up opening up a shop eventually, anyways. And I told Dave that I was like, dude, from here I was going to my own shop, bro. So I'm just letting you know if I do come with you to Barber's Inc., I'm not gonna be there like for much more than a year, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm dipping off and doing my own thing. And he was like, it's all good, just come through, because that way we can bounce ideas off of each other. And we can make some shit happen, and we did. You know what I mean? So and then from there, that's when I opened up my own shop. Right after that, Timeless Barbers,
So what got you
and that
into
was
doing
huh?
what year was that?
What year was what?
When you opened up Thomas Barbershop?
2012, December 2012. So yeah.
Okay. So what made you get into doing YouTube?
Um, I seen what Randy was doing, and to be honest with you, at a competition, I was like, man, I could cut better than Randy. Let me go ahead and throw my shit up on YouTube. Like because I come from that popping and that breaking and graffiti. You know what I mean? So it's real. Like I've always had that real competitive mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
So
because you were
like
doing bodybuilding, so yeah.
yeah, and all that, right? But I was a popper and breakdancer and little street vandal way before fucking bodybuilding. You know what I mean? But that
Hmm.
competitiveness
Yeah.
that came from the popping and the breaking, straight up. Just always wanting to be like the top. Like I want to be like when I go to a battle and I step in, I'm walking in. I want people like, oh shit, oh he's here, oh fuck, he's about to win this whole shit. Like that
Yeah.
was my mindset. You know what I mean?
Hold on, you got a phone call, so we got to get the sound back.
So can you hear
Yep.
me?
Yep.
Yeah, somebody just called again. So
You getting a phone call again?
it was kind of out of ego. It was like, Randy's on here busting his shit. And I always looked up to Randy, though, like, especially in barber college. He's a little bit younger than me. I think he's like 6 months younger than me or a year younger than me. But to me, he was like, I mean, his tapers and everything were super clean in
Yeah.
barber college. And he was already hitting little designs and stuff. And I was like, damn, like, I always looked up to him. But by the time I was at Hair Masters and I seen him have a video, I was like, because I was already on YouTube, but I was never searching barber videos. I was
Uh-huh.
on YouTube. Yeah, I got videos of popping back, go back to like 2007, I think. Like on
Mm.
other channels, on other battle, like I have old school popping battles, you know what I mean, from way back in the day that are of me on there. So I was always on YouTube, but I never thought to look up barbering. Then one
Uh-huh.
day I go on there and I look up barbering, and who pops up? Randy. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, oh hell no, I'm gonna put some videos up now. So
Oh.
that's really how it started. And I remember I wrote to Randy a few times and he didn't respond. So I was like, this motherfucker, he ain't even responding to me. Right? Like, I thought maybe he was mad, but maybe he didn't see him or whatever. Because I remember I was like, bro, I wrote you hella times on YouTube. You don't even you don't even write back. He's like, bro, I didn't even see those, bro. Because he did have that one video of him in the garage. That shit had millions of views.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah. And he even told me, he was like, bro, that shit gave me anxiety of how fast he was
He
just
blew up.
blowing up. You know what I mean, on YouTube, to where it was like he just put that on there. He didn't go on there with like a game plan, like, oh, I'm gonna be this YouTuber. He just was in the hood right there, just busting a little taper in the garage, and just next thing you know, he's getting millions of hits, and
He
he's
was
the number
one of
one.
the first. One of the
Yeah,
first.
he's the number one. Yeah, and he's the number one dude in barbering all of a sudden, like out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like everybody caking his Randy, caking his Randy. You know what I'm saying? So
And
that's it.
it
Really,
was
for me,
funny.
it starts.
He didn't even have a barber name. It was just Kelvin. Who the hell is Caking is Randy? Like,
That's his
it was
name. That's what he, because he used to say, I keep it caking. Like the cuts is caking. Like that shit's tight. That's like a
crazy.
Frisco. That's a Frisco thing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So caking is Randy. That's where he came from.
And then what's so
But yeah,
funny is a
he.
lot of barbers don't know who Caking is Randy is now.
Oh
They don't
man,
know.
that's
They
fucking
don't
sad,
know
bro.
how
To
many.
me,
Go
it's
ahead.
sad. It's sad how quickly the fucking people just get forgotten about. Like, I'm surprised because I've seen a lot of people get even more forgotten about than me, and they kept pushing themselves and putting their shit out there for a lot longer than me. And it seems like people still, even though like there's a lot of people that don't know who I am, but a lot of people still were, even though I was just dead silent online, not putting anything out. People were still like all this whole time, and I got respect for all these people, bro, because like a lot of people just kept fucking, when are you gonna come on with more videos? Vic, we miss you. Please come back. Like I could show you thousands of messages. Vic, the game needs you. Vic, the game needs you, bro. Like the game's turning into some bullshit. The game needs you. And I'm just like, fuck. Just sitting there like I don't got it in me no more, bro. Like I'm depressed. I'm suffering from anxiety, depression. I'm trying to raise a family. I'm trying to run a business. I don't got it in me no more, bro. Like that's what I wanted to tell these people. But I was just be like, I'll be back one day. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. We'll just hold tight. All right, cool. All right, cool. But it's like, dude, after a while, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm never coming back. I'm never gonna get back in the game. I'm just gonna shut my mouth and just be a regular barber. You know what I mean? But then I don't know, man. Just some came back in me and was like, you gotta get back in the game, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You just have to. I just felt that calling, so that's why. And all of a sudden, it's crazy. As soon as I came back in the game, Barber Battle. Hey, can you judge this Barber Battle, Vic? Hey, can you judge this Barber Battle, Vic? Hey, man, like, and I haven't even put a YouTube video out yet. And I do plan to get back on YouTube too, but it's just crazy because like people are like, I'm getting all these opportunities like quick. It's like, damn,
What
I
year was that?
appreciate it.
What year did you come back? Like people started to reach out to you and they was like recognizing you again.
It never stopped.
No, no, I'm saying, but like coming back into the swing of things, coming
Oh,
back to
like how did
shows
I
and
just
stuff.
boom come back in the game all of a sudden right now out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was I had gotten on the phone with Alejandro from, well, you
Okay.
probably don't know who he is, but
I
he,
know.
do you
Yeah.
know from
Alejandro.
you
Yeah.
from United Bar or from Urban Barber College?
No. No. No.
Okay, so Alejandro and Jerry they put together the NorCal Barber Expo.
That's where I know the name from. Yes. No. Yes. Okay.
Yes. So Alejandro he owns three urban barber colleges,
Okay.
and I was gonna be his head educator with his first school, but I was like, my daughter was first born. It was before I even opened up my shop. And he was like, bro, it was when I was super popping on YouTube. And he was like, bro, I want you to come out, and he's like, we'll pay for you, we'll pay for your place to stay, like an apartment or whatever, for you and your family. And he's like, we'll pay your hourly. annual, like a, not hourly, but like a
Scholar.
yeah, salary, right? He's like, we'll pay your salary and you could cut for free. Like here at the school. Like all you gotta do is just be there all day, every day. And you'll be
Mm-hmm.
the head educator. And like I was about to I ain't gonna lie, that shit sounded tempting as fuck. I was gonna do
Yeah.
it. But I just was like, moving to fucking where the fuck is it at? The city is Concord. And I was like, I don't know, I just decided not to do it, long story short.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes I'm like, damn, I should have taken that deal. but, but I mean, whatever. I mean, we're still cool. But long story short, we were talking on the phone. He was like, Vic, man, come on, man, you need to come back with your products and stuff, bro. He was like, the game is wide open for you right now, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, people need you, bro. Your brand is dope. You're dope. Like everything you've done, you need to come back in the game. And I was just sitting there listening. I'm like, man. Like, and I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it. Like, I've been dealing with last, I mean, I've always had anxiety since I was a kid. I've always been like an anxious, just because childhood trauma and shit like that. But like for the past, ever since my mom passed, like I went through like this deep depression, and then once I started coming out of the depression, the fucking anxiety is just like out of this world, bro. There's times where I've gone to the hospital, like, oh my god, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm dying right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy because I talk to people and they're like, bro, that's happened to me hella times. Like, I know hella people that are medicated on
Mm-hmm.
anti anxiety. I've never taken any, though. I've been like, I'm not fucking taking shit. I believe that it's a gift if you learn how to harness it right correctly. You know what I mean? Like ADD, same shit. Like it's a gift if you learn how to use it. But that's
Mm-hmm.
why we're all here. We're all here on this earth plane, in this body, in your body. We all got different struggles and different things that we deal with to help shape us. And we're here to overcome them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could go and take a pill, and I would have been out of the woods 5 years ago, probably. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, man, I gotta fight through this shit. I gotta do this on my own. But there is many times where I would just be like, man, I'm about to just go to the hospital and be like, give me the fucking meds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the anxiety just it would just get too crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's a daily battle, a daily struggle to overcome anxiety disorder, panic disorder. But like I'm definitely, there's not a day that I don't have it, but it's definitely getting easier and easier. And I feel like the only way for me to get over it is just to fucking get back in the game. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only way. Because otherwise I'm sitting back and I'm watching everybody do shit and I'm like, oh, I got all these gifts and talents and all these ideas, but they're just saying fucking locked up inside of me and I ain't letting them go. And every time I do some shit, that shit like releases a lot of anxiety right there. You know what I mean? A lot of people are dealing with anxiety because of trauma, which I believe that's part of the reason why I deal with it. But a lot of people are dealing with it because of they're not becoming their potential. They're not
Mm-hmm.
doing what they're really called to do. So they're just bottling the shit up. And then
Yeah.
they're seeing other people and they're like, fuck, I could be doing that too. What am I doing? I'm not doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
There's a lot of different reasons why, but I believe that that's part of the reason why I do it because I know I'm talented. I don't. Nobody has to tell me. I know. Since I
Yeah.
was a little kid, I've always been gifted with different talents, art and shit, dancing, artistic. Athletically, I was an athlete too. You know what I mean? I've always been gifted with different shit, but I've
Mm-hmm.
always, I've always had my shortcomings because of my trauma and shit. I've always, it's like I believe in myself and I know I can do this shit, but then I have all these fears. Oh no, don't do that because what if you fail? Then everybody's gonna laugh at you. That's what always drove me to be so competitive and be good at shit because I wanted to be the best because I didn't want to get laughed at and I didn't want to get looked at like, oh, he's whack. You know what I mean? It all goes back to the popping and the breaking and shit. I'm telling you, because if you're not good back in those days, it's not like nowadays. Like, oh, come on, man. Oh, yeah, you did pretty good. Back in those days, it's like, man, get up out of here. You're whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're whack. Go home. You're weak. Your shit is weak, bro. Or you're a biter. You bit my shit. You're whack. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Just like you watch Beat Street.
Yeah.
Man, we never stole no moves from you. Your moves ain't worth a bit. So what's up with that, Paul? Like that shit. That's how it was. That's how it was for me growing up. Like literally, especially being white. Like going to the battles and shit, being the only white boy in there, trying to get. I had to be extra good. You know what I'm saying? to be able to get along and have my place in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
So
So barbering, most times people say barbering has changed their life, but barbering right now is really changing your life. Is really bringing you out of these situations. And the more that you peel back those layers, you feel like you becoming more of who you really want to be and show the world how great you are.
yeah, I mean, it's not so much I want to show the world how great I am. It's more I don't want to. I don't want to leave without being fully expressed in this fake ass time based reality that we're living in. Like I want to fully give everything I got because I don't want to
Mhm.
go to my grave with the shit with my music still in me. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to give it all, and I got so much, bro. But I know that we have like all of us have only a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? So thinking about that shit gives me anxiety because I'm like, fuck, what if I don't get to get all my ideas out there and give, and then I have to like there's times where I got to get to a point where I gotta just meditate and just be like, hey man, if God takes you home today, hey, you did what you did, and you got to be okay with that. You
That's a
know what I
fact.
mean?
That's a fact.
Yeah, yeah.
So with you coming back and come back out being in a circle again, because from what I seen and LV, what's the first show that you came back to?
It was the NorCal Barber battle.
What
Yeah.
and
So
what year
so
was that?
Alejandro hit me up. He was like, "Yo, you need to come back, bro." He literally was like, "You need to come back. You need to bring your fucking product." He don't cuss like I do, but he was like, "You need to bring your products back. You need to come back. The game needs you." You know what I mean? But he don't talk like he's very soft spoken type dude. He's chill, but he's
Mhm.
basically telling me this stuff, and I'm like sitting there listening. I'm like, you know what? Next thing you know, I got my banner made. I got a new tablecloth made. I had tablecloths from back in the day, but remember the icons like the Facebook icon, the Twitter and all that. And Twitter used to be a bird, and now
Yeah.
it's the little it's a
X.
different icon. So I was like, I ain't going out there with my old ass fucking my old ass tablecloth. So I went and got a new tablecloth. Started investing in my products again, investing in myself mentally. I never stopped doing that. I have to do that. It's like for me, investing in myself mentally and prayer and meditation and reading and just personal development is like it's like air. Like I have to have it. As soon
Mm-hmm.
as I deviate from that, it's bad. It's bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So so yeah, I got off the phone with him, and boom, I got all my shit ready. I was at his barber battle, judged the barber battle, made my little video. You know what I mean? Went around, did a little video, threw that Mozzie beat on there, and next thing you know, boom, this barber battle, then that barber battle. And it's just like, and then now you're hitting me up for an interview on the, you know what I mean? It's just like one thing after another. And then
What?
at the LV barber battle with Jay Major's barber battle. Uh, Marv, I almost cried right there because I'm like, damn, man, this is crazy. Like this dude, he's big time. You know what I mean? And he's like, this dude, I just want to give this dude his flowers, man.
I seen
I
that.
was up, yeah, and I was like, damn, like you see me cheesing because I'm like, damn, I'm trying to keep a smile because as soon as the smile drops, I'm about to start crying. You know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, like that's dope because me and him have never even written each other back and forth. You know what I mean? So I'm over here. I've touched people that I don't even know if I touched. And I'm over here just thinking, damn, this fool's over here getting it. Like he's winning. Little do I know that I was their first inspiration. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
for
Or I was
real.
the first person that I got 5 people today I could show you on messages like, hey, Vic, I just want to say thank you, bro. You were the first one that the very first dude I watched, and you were the dopest dude at that time that I was watching, and you were the one that I modeled my whole shit after. I'm just like, I have to keep going, bro. I have to. Even if I don't amount to anything, even if it don't ever pop off, it don't matter. I have to. It's like I have to do this. It's not about showing the world how great I am. That's what it used to be about for me. It used to be about that. Now
Yeah.
it's I have to. I just have to do this for my being, bro. Like just for me. Like just to. It's like I just have to do it, and that's why I feel like there's even more of a powerful driving force behind me now than there was before. Because
Yeah.
before it was more ego driven. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I had to. I mean, the ego is necessary. Everybody, we have to have some bit of ego in us. But my ego was like to the ceiling. You know what I mean? Like it was way. I had way too much, and I know I played it off like I was like humble, and people are like, "Oh wow, you're so humble." But deep down inside, there was nothing humble about this player right here. Nothing humble. Like I was always like, man, man, nobody could see me, whether it be popping, whatever. I've always had that mentality. You know what I mean? And I feel like that shit is needed
It's
to a
needed.
certain
It's needed.
degree
It's needed.
sometimes. You know what I mean? Depending on what
Yep.
you're trying to do. But
Yep.
but then you get to a point where you're like, man, like this shit just ain't it no more. Like it's not about you anymore. I remember there's this one dude that used to come and mop my shop. He fucked up my fucking water my shampoo bowl at the time. He sat on it and it broke and he never fixed it. Whatever. But he gave me a piece of game that like I kept telling him things I wanted to do that we're all based in ego, right? And then it's like I really feel like God sends you people right at the right time, even if they fucked up your shampoo bowl,
Yep.
right? Or even if they scratched your car or whatever. You got to look at the message, bro. The message is the most important part of the whole existence. You know what I'm saying? And he was
Mhm.
like, I was like, man, I want to get a bigger shop right there on the thing on the main strip. Whoop de whoop. He was like, for what? He's like, you guys are all booked up right here. I was like, I know, man, but that's what I want, bro. I want to kill it. I want to have a way sicker shop, a way bigger shop. And he's like, it's not about you, man. And I was like, you know what I mean? And then I sat back and I'm listening. Okay, it's not about me. Okay, what does that mean? It's not about me. Like, yeah, you're right. It ain't about me. It's about having a sick ass shop. It's about killing the game. You know what I'm saying? But again, like that's me. That was me being young minded and not realizing that it was literally all ego. Like, what
Mhm.
it was just like. And then I'm like, oh, I want to get these chairs because these chairs, whoop de whoop. Well, these chairs they work fine, don't they? They leaning back, they spin, they pump up and down. What do you need new chairs for? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No, but
Mhm.
I just want these chairs, bro, because these chairs are fucking clean. They're dope, old school. You know what I'm saying? 1920 Cokins, whatever. Man,
People.
it ain't about you. It ain't about you, bro. Like everything I kept coming at him with, things that I wanted to do, he kept saying, but it ain't about you, bro. And it's like I had to let that sink in and
Uh-huh.
realize, like, damn, okay. Like it's not like if things are going good, the shop's busy, everything is am I talking too long? Am I
No,
going
you
too
good, bro. You good.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and I was just like, you know, it took a little while to sink in, but I reflect on that conversation still to this day. I also reflect on another conversation that I have. This is another reason why I just like, damn, I fell back and I was like, I'm so used to people praising me and telling me how great I am and how much I've done for the industry and all this shit. And this little old motherfucking barber, and I mean he's a good dude. Like I'm thankful that I had this interaction. It hurt. It hurt my pride and ego, but I fucking needed it. And I'm like, man, and I go to his shop because I hear from somebody else that he wants to sell his shop, right? And this is in San Jose. So I go in there kind of like, chopping it up, all on my high horse, oh, you want to sell your barber shop? You know, how much you looking to get for it? Woot you, this and that. And he's just like, kind of like shining me on, not shining me on, but kind of like this youngster, who the fuck's this kid think he is, And he's just looking at me like, he's kind of asking me some questions. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a well-respected barber in the universe, in the industry, in the universal industry, no, in the industry, right? And I'm like, I wrote the Barber Bible. I'm going on about myself, not like super, not super cocky, but he goes, man, that's sad. You don't know nothing about being a barber. And I was
Mm.
like, huh? And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, and this is when Vick the Barber has his product lines, his barber shop, his fucking the Barber Bible, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and I'm thinking pretty highly of myself at the time. Got the money, got the house, got everything going. I'm not a millionaire, but maybe like in assets, whatever. But I wasn't like balling like that yet, or not. Or I mean, I wasn't balling like that, But I mean, I was doing good for myself, and I was proud of myself.
Yeah.
And he was like, you've done all this stuff, but you still don't even know what it means to be a barber. And I
Wow.
was just like, this old motherfucker talking shit right now. But then he starts, but then no, but then he really starts breaking it down to me like where he's coming from. He starts asking me what's the difference between a follicle and an African American's follicles and a white person's follicles, and I'm like, this fool started going deep, bro. This fool started going. Have you ever heard of the book called The Science of Barbering?
Nah,
Okay,
science
check
about
that
it.
book out, huh?
No, no, I'm
Science of
gonna write it
Barbering.
down.
Check that book out. It's an old school ass book. Let me put it to you like this. This dude was so on point as a
Hmm.
barber. He could literally he could literally recite a Milady's textbook. Like he could recite the science of barbering. This dude was like I don't even know if he's still alive. But long story short, I left that place. I've left that place thinking that I was Vick the Barber, Almighty Barber, the barber industry, killing the game. Everybody want to know Vick. Everybody want to see Vick. Everybody want to be in pictures with Vick. Everybody want to support. And I left the barber shop going like feeling this small. And people be
Yep.
like, why would you let this old man, you know, shrink you down to and like that, right? And I could have brought myself right back up. And trust me, I did. I was like, man, that old man don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He don't know me. Nobody gives a shit. What's the difference between the follicles and an African American? How many hair follicles man, how many hair strands come out of a follicle in a white person versus an African American? All these little scientific questions, right? And I'm like, but then it started making me realize this motherfucker is the real deal, and I'm a fucking fraud.
Mm.
Not really, but you know what I'm saying? Not like I'm a
Yeah.
fraud. I always gave my heart to the game, like
Yeah.
gave what I
Yeah.
felt like I had to give, and people have been blessed by it, right? But like I was just like, damn, and nobody even knows who the fuck this dude is. And this is the real deal right here. You know what I mean? And I could go on and on, bro. Like I have many different humbling situations, that I've had where interactions with people where I'm just like, I'm not the type of person to just take that shit lightly. Like, they don't know what I'm, but they don't know shit. You know what I mean? No, they know some shit. They know a lot of shit that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they just clowned your ass. You know what I'm saying? He clowned me
Yep.
right there. And I was like,
So,
fuck.
so with
And
you
then, and I,
coming, so with you
go
coming
ahead.
back into the game now, though, right? And it's giving you
Yeah.
your second win, and you feel like there's things that you still want to accomplish, and you being like, I don't want to say accepted back into it, but all of the big people that's movers now know who Vick the Barber is. So it's very easy to be like, yo, Vick, come through because we know you and we know the bricks that you already laid. So it ain't like you gotta show your resume because we already know who you are. Um, does that make you feel good knowing that there's people out there that are the movers and shakers that can just say come through and you could be put back where you need to be?
Yeah. No, it feels good. It feels good. But like I said, I have a different, I mean, all along I had this purpose that I have now was all along was the purpose. I just didn't know it yet. You know what I mean? Like God had to break me down to build me back up. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I feel very like I said when Marvy Marv said that about me, I felt like I literally was about to start crying. I was like, oh shit, he's about to put this on YouTube. I'm over here fucking about to be crying. You know what I mean? But like
How many
literally, like yeah, of course, man. I feel like I'm very humbled by it, bro. Very
how,
humbled to be
how
able to
many
know and be able to
how
go
many
ahead.
other people came and said those same warm things to you while you was at LV?
Oh man, at least like five, at least 5, 10 people. At least 10 people, but three of them were like very like one dude was crying to me. And I was gonna put it on, but I was like, you know what, I don't wanna I mean, he wasn't crying like bawling, but he literally was getting teary eyed, and my wife started busting out the camera because he was telling me, no, literally, Vic. I was like, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Because, most people come up, they give their respect. Hey, what's up, Vic? Just want to say thank you for what you've done for the game. Whoop de whoop, right? And I'm just like, all right, thanks, man. I appreciate you, bro. And I don't take it lightly, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I'm just like, man, I'm used to hearing that, not like that, but I get used to hearing that. It's said to me quite often, right? Especially if I go to an event. But I mean, just even on Instagram, people write stuff all the time. They DM me, whatever, right? and they gave me my flowers. But this dude came up and literally people started freaking like stopping to listen to what he was saying because he was like, I appreciate you, back. I appreciate you, bro. Nah, man, seriously, bro. If it wasn't for you, like that, like pointing in my chest, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, okay. You know what I mean? Like he's like, hey, man, if it wasn't for you, bro, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't have my shop. I wouldn't be able to feed my all this stuff. And I was just like, and he was literally tearing up, bro. And I was just like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like this is crazy. Like, and I was gonna put it up as like, with some good, the music. But
Yeah,
I would want to get at him first, like the soft music, and
yeah,
do something with it. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I'm gonna get at him first to make sure he's cool with being on camera like that. I mean, like I said, he wasn't like balling, or nothing like that. But just still, I just feel like he was sharing his heart, and
yeah,
I don't know if that's for everybody in the industry. You know what I mean? And I would want to make sure I get at him first before I were to post it. But yeah, it was very heartfelt, bro. Like I was like, damn, I really touched this dude's life. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you
So,
a lot of times I don't know. A lot of the pioneers, it's just like hip hop. Like if I see somebody like Run DMC or like Big Daddy Kane or like
Big
somebody
Daddy
like
Kane.
those people, when I see them in person, even I was just in the airport and I ran into Grandmaster Flash and I was talking
Oh,
to him for a second and I was able to get a
that's
selfie with him.
crazy.
But like
I
he
was about to
doesn't
say, hold up, I got a little Grandmaster Flash toy over here, but I
or
got it at
what?
the barber shop. Yeah, I got
But
the little Grandmaster Flash little toy, bro. I love Grandmaster
but
Flash. Go ahead.
he doesn't know how influential he was to my brother who's a DJ who I looked up to when it came to doing music. And it's just like, so yeah, I wasn't a DJ per se, but I was in the DJ industry as far as carrying his crates, helping him set up, helping him break down, paying attention to the DMC DJ competitions. So when I seen him in a airport, it was just like you were like one of the godfathers, and it's the
Facts.
same thing when it comes to you. You are one of the godfathers of the barber industry, especially when it comes to YouTube and doing informative videos since 2010. That it's just when we do get to see the pioneers come out, like see OG Walker, Al Millions, to see Pacino, to see Jada Barber, and there's a whole bunch of other barbers that very influential. But when we see them out and about, because we don't see them as much, when we see y'all, it's like we have to just give you praise because you guys don't know how many people lives you changed and their families. Like you had dudes that was hustlers that probably wouldn't be here no more. That probably was going to think about getting jumped into a gang, selling drugs, shooting and killing people. Like you guys don't
Oh,
know
dude, trust me,
how many
I got people,
lives.
I got guys from prison, bro. Literally, multiple, hundreds of people that have written me from prison, not from prison, but they were in prison, and when they get out, they're like, bro, I was watching you in the pen, bro. Like we were getting the
Crazy.
phones in there, and they're like, I was watching ever since I was in the pen, and I said, as soon as I get out, I have people that have came to my barber shop, bro. I've been watching you since I was in prison, bro. I got people from Mexico that are like, bro, I've been watching you since I was living in Mexico. One homie, I've been working with him a lot lately, my boy Jose. He was deported. He's from here, but he was born in Mexico. And then he went to the pen for I don't know, maybe 6 years, whatever, how many years he did, but and then as soon as he got done, he had no idea nothing. And mind you, he's never even been at this point, he had never even been to Mexico before. I've been to
Uh,
Mexico like 5, 6 times, like bunch of times, right? On vacation and shit, right?
mhm.
And he's like, bro, I had never even been to Mexico. He's a straight gang banging, cat from Northern California, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with that lingo, but you got Northerners and Southerners. He's Norteño, right?
Never, I never heard it for the West Coast, but I do hear it though.
Yeah, you got Norteños and Sureños, right? Southerners. And he's Norteño. He never was in Mexico at all. He was born there, but boom, came to America before he was 1 year old. He's been in America his whole life.
That's all you know.
Right. Next thing you know, he comes out there and he's getting released from prison, and they're putting him on a bus, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're going to Mexico." So then he's in fucking Mexico for like 10 years, And he's like, bro, I've been watching your videos ever since I was in Mexico. The whole time I looked up to you, Al's Millions, everybody, right? And he's like, you're the main one, like Vick, you're the one, bro. He's like, I told myself as soon as I come back to America, he's like, I'm fucking coming to your barbershop. And sure enough, he came to my barbershop as soon as like the month he was back. And he
Wow.
came to my shop, took pics with me, and gave me my props and gave me my flowers and all that. And we're still working together right now. I mean, if you see him, his name's Jose Mora. He's on flyers and stuff. And I've gotten him in. I mean, he's serious, man. He was big time in Mexico. He was throwing barber battles and all kinds of stuff, inspired by what we were doing up here. And he was over there, started with nothing, boom, started cutting in the shop. Next thing you know, he's seeing online we're throwing not I never throw any barber battles, but he's seen that we're throwing barber battles in the States collectively, right? Next thing you know, he's throwing huge international barber battles in Mexico, going from state to state. He's throwing like 30 something. I forget how many barber battles he's thrown, but he was killing it in Mexico. So
That's
now
what's up.
he's up here and so now he's up here trying to build his resume up here now. But yeah, man, like so many people, it's almost like the gifts God's giving me, it's like I'm slapping God in the face if I don't use them. And that's why, like, I want to be lazy and just sit here and play video games and go do my job and come back, hang out with my family and keep it simple, right? I'm a simple man, bro. You know what I mean? I know people look at me like, oh, he's this mastermind, come out with all this products and all this shit. But
Yeah.
I'm truthfully just an artist. I'm a simple man. I like to draw. I like to dance. And it's just all just outlets for me. It's just creative outlets. That's how I look at everything, right? And truthfully, like I don't even want to be all in the spotlight and in the limelight like that. But I feel like I'm doing a disservice to God, and I'm doing a disservice to people if I don't come back out and at least give what I have. And once I give all that, I'll step back and be like, okay, I gave what God gave. I'm gonna give what God gave me to give, and after that, if God allows me to be on the earth long enough to be able to do that, cool. And if once I feel like I've done that, then I'll step back gladly and just be like, I'm chilling. I don't. There's nothing else for me to do because I already did it. You know what I
So what's
mean?
the game plan there? Because you back now, I definitely see that you revamp things. I seen your booth at LV. I was like, oh, this is amazing. The logo, everything is nice and vibrant. Everything is very premium. And I was like, okay,
He said premium.
premium. So I'm like,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so what's next then? Because it looks like you ready to like really get the gears moving and really blow up. So what's next?
Well, I mean, like, my thing is, like, I've just had I've been, this whole time that I fell off, if you want to use the word fell off, or some people, one dude came up and was like, man, nah, don't say that, because I was telling, I talk about myself like that. I know I shouldn't, because you are what you think, you are what you speak, whatever, and the tongue is a double-edged sword and all that jazz, right? And so, I know I shouldn't say like, oh, I fell off, but dude was like, man, you didn't fall off, bro. You were taking care of your family. You were raising your kids. Don't say that about yourself. You didn't fall off.
Mhm.
Everybody out here still knows you. They still love you. So don't say you fell off. You know what I mean? But in my mind, back to that competitive ego shit, it's like I feel like, damn, I fell off. You know what I mean? But so for me now, it's like I said, it's not about ego. It's not like oh, I do have my stuff that I write down, all my goals and stuff that but as far as like my main thing is just being creative and just keep creating things, whether it be a new t-shirt design, whether it be another barber shop, whether it be like I have all kinds of plans. I could sit here for hours and I don't want to do that and sit here and tell you all the, but like my thing is just little by little, just staying consistent with everything that I'm doing and not worrying about because none of us we're not promised tomorrow. So don't worry. Like that's always been a big thing for me is worrying about whether I'm gonna be able to get this done or whether this. It's like just learning how to just enjoy the journey. That's for me
Okay.
is the biggest thing right now. I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about competing or being the top dude on Instagram or YouTube or any of that bullshit. I don't give a shit about none of that.
Mhm.
All I care about is being the best version of me I can be today. Make sure I hit my 100 push ups. Make sure I give my wife and my kids a kiss before I leave. Make sure I give clean haircuts. Being in the moment. You know what I mean? Whether I'm at the shop, no matter what I'm doing, just trying to be in that moment. Try not to think too far into the future. I already have everything I need to succeed. You know what I mean? Everybody does, essentially, right? But I mean, like, I already have enough right now. Some cats become a millionaire off of one product. I don't even need half the shit that I have. I just need to move it and push it and promote it, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, just one day at a time. Try not to put too much on my plate, because if I put too much, then that fucks me up too. So I'm just, I don't want to say too much. My thing too is like, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm doing this next, and then I don't follow through
You
with
don't
it.
do it. I
But
get it. I get
but
it.
definitely, I want to do what you're doing. I want to start a podcast. I already have a name. I already have, and you definitely will be one of the first on there. You know what I'm saying? But I already have a name. I already have the logo, everything set up. I want to start a podcast, and for me, the products, all that stuff is cool. Making the money is great, all that stuff is cool, but the main thing for me now is that's different about the way I'm moving now is like it's more with purpose, and it's more to help other people that are maybe dealing with the same shit that I've dealt with as a kid, or in the barber industry, or whatever, just life in general, like being able to give people hope and inspiration. That's my main thing. If I can't inspire nobody, I don't give a fuck how much money I got,
Hmm.
or how much money he's got. If he didn't inspire nobody, everything to me, the best thing a person can do is inspire other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who gives a shit how much money Muhammad Ali died with, right?
Yep.
Did he inspire you?
Yep.
Right? Mike Tyson. Who gives a shit how much money he has? Did he inspire you? Those are two of my favorite people, by the way, that have ever lived, besides
Yep.
Jesus. But yeah, so it's like, to me, it's about, if you can't inspire, like, to me, it's all about being inspirational to others, and inspiring people. That's it. It's like, without that, you ain't got nothing. To me, you ain't got nothing. I don't care how much money you got. If you didn't
So
inspire me, huh? Go
so
ahead.
there's no regret. The fact that you could have been the 360 Jeezy, you could be the Chris Basio, you could be the J Majors, all these big names. There's no regret that you're not there.
Nah,
I love that.
nah, not at all.
That's
Not at
good.
all.
Okay.
Not at all. But there was a time when I did feel like that.
Hmm.
There was a time. You know what I mean? Um, certain people I look up to, certain people I don't. J Majors, I definitely look up to. There wasn't always a time that I did. I mean, I'll be honest on here. I don't give a shit. I talked to J Majors earlier. Me and him were cool, But there's a times where I was like, fuck J Majors. You know what I mean? There's a time where I was like, fuck this person, fuck that person, fuck 360 Jeezy, fuck Chris Bazio, fuck these
Hmm.
motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? There was a time where I was like that. But I know that don't get you anywhere, thinking like that's being a fucking hater. And now I'm
Hmm.
like, you know what? At the end of the day, no matter what anybody want to say, like this bullshit between Cole and J Majors, get that shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing that Cole could say, he could bring up the fight, all that shit, whatever happened at the show. All the people that were there, none of us even seen it. Nobody even knew that happened. The fact that he's trying to bring that up to tear him down, whatever. I don't know what he's doing with that bullshit. But
Hmm.
to me, that's not being a man. You know what I mean? Like, just if he wants to throw his barber battle and get after it, then fucking do that shit. Why the fuck do you feel like you got to build up? You use his shit. And I'm not hating on Cole either, because I've even written on posts and shit. Like, I agree with a lot of shit that he says, like 99% of it. But there's
Hmm.
one or two things that I don't agree with. And I'm not no little bitch either. I'll speak my mind. You know what I mean? That's another thing. Once you hit 40, like once I hit 40, that's another beautiful thing. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. Like I'll fucking say whatever the fuck's on my mind. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to say what, or worried about being canceled, or oh, is this person in the industry gonna like me or not? You know what I mean? But
I hear
getting
that.
to meet getting to meet Basio in person finally, like I really feel like I'm a pretty good, like I feel people's energy, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like he's a very what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. He's a very, not understanding, he's a very not charisma.
Genuine.
Genuine is the exact word. And I told him that to his face. I was like, you know what, dude? I feel like you're a really genuine person, man. And I told him that. And he was like, he received. He's like, man, I appreciate that. Because you know what? Like, I even see. a shift in his energy because he's now part of he's part of the Mom's Gone Club. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And
Yep.
once that happens, I don't care who you are. Once you lose moms, bro, something shifts in you. Something changes. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
yeah, there was times where I talked to Bazio back in the day on the phone, not back in the day, but not too, a while back, and we agreed to disagree on some things, and there were some things where I was like, man, I don't agree with what he's talking about, whatever. But I wasn't like, he's a piece of shit. I wish he would die or some shit like that. But I just was like, man, he's not for me. You know what I mean? But now I'm like, you know what? He's solid, and I appreciate what he's done for the game. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? J Major, same thing, bro. Like there was times where I'd be like, man. But Jay Majors, you can't take nothing away from the guy. Like you can hate on him if you want to, but he's done more for the fucking industry than anybody. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
Way more than what I've done. I mean, yeah, I taught people how to fish with the Clippers, like we were talking about earlier. But yeah, like he's done a lot, bro. You know what I mean? He's helped a lot of people, and he don't go out there and show himself. You know what I mean? Giving money to homeless and shit. But I'm sure he's done all that shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's done a lot for the game, put on amazing shows. Nobody could touch his shows. So to me, it's like, Cole, do your shit. I want to see that show. I want to see that shit happen. And Jay, keep moving the way you're moving. Keep doing your thing. Everybody, you know what I mean? Just stay focused. I don't mean to say anything bad. I'm not trying to shit on Cole either. I agree with 99% of the things that he says, but certain little things that he's moving. But hey, I don't have to. I mean, and he could be like, you know what? Well, fuck Vick. I don't have to agree with, or Vick don't. But I don't have to agree with him, and he don't have to agree with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he's gonna move. He's gonna move how he wants to move, and you're gonna move how you want to move. I'm gonna move. Everybody's gonna move how they want to move. But there's certain little things right now at this point in time that I don't agree with, and I'm not a little bitch. I'm gonna speak my mind. But I don't. I think that he has a lot of game, and he should keep giving that game because that shit's important. He says a lot of shit that's important that barbers need to hear, especially young barbers. You know what I'm saying? But when
Yeah.
you get
I
all
mean,
into the when they getting all into the down talking each other and shit like that, I'm not with that shit. That shit's whack. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
because
That
it's
shit's
going to cause a divide, and then
yeah,
that's one problem. I've always liked to be the person that's in the middle. I don't have to side with nobody. It's just that whatever's for me is going to be for me. Whatever's not for me, I'm on my business. I don't. I don't even speak about it. I may speak to my close people about it, but I don't put it out there online. There's a lot of things that I don't agree. There's times that I've been mad at people that I speak great things about now. It's just that sometimes you just be in your feelings, or it's just
yeah,
something that you
exactly,
don't agree with.
exactly,
But then you got to
exactly.
find a way of what is this person? What is this because we're on a path of self development. I'm 40 years old, and I have conversations with my wife all the time. Is that the man I was 5 years ago, 10 years old, 10 years ago. I'm not that same person. I'm still growing, and there's things that I'm gonna like. There's things I'm gonna dislike. There's ways I need to bite my tongue. There's ways I need to voice my opinion, and it's just whatever's supposed to work for you is gonna work for you. And there's things
Right.
that I feel is going to break us down instead of build us up. And there's nothing wrong with you having an opinion of what things should be that you believe that need to be highlighted, or things that need to be celebrated more. It's just a way of doing things, and some people may have other ways of doing it that feel like it's going to be in their best favor, but it may
Yeah.
not. It's just I like to just sit and watch. But as long as we
Seriously,
know
just get that popcorn. Get that popcorn ready.
we know who have done things influential in the barber industry. There's people that have created clippers that's not out now that nobody speak about. There's people that have created courses or created products and that has sparked that idea to the next person. It's just
Right.
we try to give an understanding of what the history is, and a lot of times people may just jump out the window and just say things without knowing the actual facts of what's going on, where did it start, and where did it come from, and it's like, okay, well, now it's time for us to have an understanding, and there's always two sides. There's two sides to every story. There's always ways that we can pivot from it, and we all have to coexist in each other's space. It's just that you could be with it, or you could be against it, or you could just say it ain't my business. I think it
Right.
ain't my business. I'm going to
Yeah,
celebrate.
it ain't my
I'm going to
hey, it ain't my
celebrate.
business. It ain't my business either. But here's the deal. with all that shit between Jay and Cole, like, here's the thing. I've known Jay a lot longer. I'm not even gonna say, oh, I like him better, whatever. That shit is irrelevant, right? I am cool with Jay though. But
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. I started following Cole for a while ago for a reason. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So because I liked what he was saying it's not like, oh, now that I don't like some of the shit that he's saying, now it's like, nah, like, of course we're all gonna have differences of opinions on a lot of shit,
Mm-hmm.
on different things, right? But like my thing is, he recently he said something like, yo, if you don't like the way I'm doing shit, then unfollow me. Then you ain't with me anyways, whatever. And I respect that too. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. But my
Yep.
thing is like, what exactly are you trying to accomplish? Because to me he was doing a good job of raising the standard of the industry. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
raising raising the awareness of young, especially young barbers. Most of the shit he's talking about, we OG barbers already know all this shit, and
Yep.
I'm just agreeing like, yup, he's talking that real shit right there. That's
Yep.
that real shit. You know what I'm saying? Him and Marvy Marv both talking a lot of shit that we already know, but these
Yep.
young barbers don't know what's up. So I'm like, that's what's up. He's getting out here, he's being vulnerable, and he's talking that shit, and he's giving game that needs to be put out there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But then, when they started going back and forth, I was just like, nah, man, like you almost like you fucking up, the whole, like, everything, he not fucking up, but I mean he already, like, he had this respect for me anyways. I'm not saying he lost it, like I just have no respect for him now, but it's kind of like, damn, I mean, hey, if you want to turn people off, you can. That's on you if you don't give a fuck. I mean, but he had me as a follower, and I think I'm still following him. I'm not like, oh, I don't. Maybe I did unfollow. I don't know, whatever. But it doesn't even matter. It's all irrelevant.
Yep.
But regardless, I agree with most of the shit he talks about. You know what I mean? I think, and again, it doesn't matter what I think. I could be like, oh, I think he should keep talking about this and not talk about that. Whatever. He's his own person. He's gonna do what he want to do. But some shit he's saying, and I'm not feeling the way that they were going back and forth, and I didn't think that was cool about the whole, bringing up the fight, because I'm like, how the fuck is Jay have any fucking how does Jay have any control over that? You know what I mean? Shit happens. That's the
Oh
first time
yeah.
I've ever. That's the first time that the shit I, that. That's the first time I've ever seen that shit happen at a barber battle. You know what I mean?
Ever.
And I didn't even like. And again, I didn't see it happen. So I was like, where the fuck was I? I would have jumped in too. I would have helped that. I would have helped the bigger dude. I would have. I grabbed those other dudes and throwing them off real quick because they were trying to get on him. You know what I mean? I would have been like,
I mean,
I would have
shit.
loved it.
Shit happens.
Huh?
Things
Yeah.
gonna occur. Like from
Yeah.
what it there's been of like I was on here with
I'm just not with the. Even if you don't like somebody, there's plenty of people that I haven't liked. You know what I mean? But
yep.
my thing is like, I just don't like the tearing down shit. Even if, because I could say a lot of fucking shit. I've been in this game a little longer than you, right? And it's like I've been in this and seen all kinds of shit. You know how many people I could fucking tear down and talk shit about and be like, this motherfucker's on, and use them as bait and be like, just to fucking build myself up, whatever. But I'm not gonna fucking do that.
No.
You know what I
Only
mean?
gonna get you but so
Yeah,
far.
it's not. Yeah, and it does. Hey, that shit does work. You know what I mean?
It
Hey,
do. It do.
it worked for 50 Cent when he hit Ja Rule with all that shit.
It
You
worked for
know what
T
I
Pop
mean?
also. I mean, look at T Pop and all the shit that he done to get to where he
Yeah,
at.
no, it does. It does. But yeah, I mean, it can work. But I don't know, man. T Pop's the thing about T Pop is he started off like that. He just started off talking shit, and you're either like, okay, I'm gonna listen to his bullshit or not. You
But
know
he
what I
had to
mean?
back it up though. He could talk all that shit, but he had to back it up with
Right. But
tools
but but
that
to
work.
me, right. But to me, exactly. Yeah, right. He had to back it up with tools that work. But see, for me, I look at Cole like he's a factor in the game. So when you looking up to somebody, not like I look up to him like he's God, but I'm not looking up to him like that, but I'm looking up like, okay, this dude's talking good shit. This is what the game needs. And then when they switch and they turn into something else, I don't know whatever behind it, I don't know, but it's kind of like, damn, you know what I mean? Like he should have. I feel like, in my opinion, you know what I mean. Not that my opinion matters. Again, it doesn't matter. But I think that he's got a lot of game, and he should keep giving it that game and keep showing that these young barbers and these new people in the industry what time it is because he's got a voice that people listen to. You know what I'm saying? So.
Controversy sells because if you think about it, I don't know if you're familiar with Kevin Samuels, but when Kevin Samuels
Oh
was
yeah, but look
doing
where it got him. But look where it got him. High blood pressure and in the grave.
yeah, but still, when he was creating a lot of content for a long time, informing men of how to dress and how to smell good and how to be well groomed, and it wasn't paid attention to. Then he started talking to the females, and now we got people that's I don't like him, but the controversy sold. It
Yeah.
got more eyes on you, and people love drama. But there was a lot of gems in it. You know what I'm
But
saying?
but
If you could
there's a
find
lot
the
of gems,
balance.
there's a lot of gems, but believe me, it's all about to me. Like I'm big on energy, bro, and everything is about energy. And everything that we put out there, we're gonna get it back. That
Correct.
is
Yep.
a that is a literal fact. So play with it if you want to. Play with it if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I mean, calling women fat asses and all, you fat, get out of here. You foreign, you're a buffalo. The way I listen to Kevin Sanders, laugh my ass off. But at this end of the day, I would never put that kind of energy out there into the universe. I'll listen to it and laugh my ass off real quick, but I ain't putting that kind of shit out in the universe. I mean,
Hmm.
anybody can. I'm a masterful shit talker. I've been a barber for how many years in the barber shop? That's all we do. You know this,
Yep.
right? But it's like, why am I gonna go and tear down people and do shit like that? It's just not. That's not the kind of energy like any of us should be putting out in the universe. But hey, to each his own. Play with fire if you want to, but just know that whatever you put out there, hey, and that goes for T-Pop too. He's doing great. He's talking all this shit. I love his clippers. I'll be honest with you. I know you wanted to ask me. I know that was one of the questions you want to ask me. But
Yep.
shit, I fucks with T-Pop clippers, bro. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yep.
But the energy he's putting out there, I don't know if it's not energy that I want to put out there. But hey, that's him. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
fuck with his clippers.
I don't like when he go after people that I respect and I look up to, like going after Jay
Right,
Majors, going
right.
after Chris Basio, going after 3CD Jeezy, going after Vick
Yeah,
Blends, just to make a name for yourself. To talk about, these people are taking money to the table, and you got to clip out and it flopped, or you just took something from somebody else, and like that's the stuff I don't like because I know with
yeah,
all of those people have brought to the industry from Vic Blends, out here doing
yeah,
things, talking to the homeless and giving haircuts and being inspirational. To 360 Jeezy being the dude that's very vital to the YouTube community when it comes to barbering and the way that he does his video editing and just being charismatic. To Chris Basio doing so many things for great people, and and
yes,
and, and Jay Majors for just seeing something that we was missing and creating something that brought so many different opportunities for thousands and thousands of people. They say, "Oh, why we don't see more black people at these shows or on these platforms or being sponsored by these brands?" And I'm like, "But and there wouldn't be an event where these products can be sold or product be introduced or even be spoke of if somebody didn't have an idea. Let's do it. Let's do something for the industry. It was Bronner Brothers. It was Proud Lady. It was all these other things, but not of this magnitude that's been going on for 15 years. And barbers still come every year to be, and there's new barbers every year coming to be inspired. That's what's needed. So when you talk bad about the people that's doing something big, that's doing something great for us, is when I don't subscribe to it. I'm like, well, I'm just not going to be a supporter of what you got going on. Now, I used the Teapot Clippers. Do I
yeah.
use it because of the controversy, or do I use it for the convenience? I bought it. I bought the Babbler's and I bought the Teapot. I bought the Babbler's and my Babbler's stopped working, and they said I couldn't get them fixed, or I had to buy a new pair. I took the trolls, which is the fake babblers, and I've been using those for 2 years, and I haven't had a problem. And the clippers I bought the first time only worked for 8 months. So I'm like,
Wow.
I'm going to use what's going to be more. I don't owe nobody nothing. If I spend my
Right.
money, I don't owe you nothing. I'm purchasing something, and I would hope that they will have a great warranty, no matter who I buy it from. And sometimes it's just not that, but I still like to buy all type of clippers. I love to celebrate the things that's in barbering. I love to see
Right.
these barbers doing new things. You know, bringing out these new products every single year. And I just love the fact that we have barbers. It's full barbers by barbers, and that's what we need.
Yeah. And you know what? All bullshit aside, like T-Pop with the shit that he be talking or whatever. But hey, at the end of the day, you don't want to know why I respect him? I mean, I don't respect his shit talking. It's some of it's funny shit. You gotta admit it's funny. But and I feel like he doesn't want like I feel like when he's doing it, there's no real animosity there. He might make you think there is, but he doesn't give it. He's just fucking with people. You know what I
He's
mean?
rich. You don't give a, he's super rich, bro. He's in the
Yeah,
UK. There's different rules. There's different patents. The reason why he can do what he do is because most of these patents is only sanctioned for the United States. So he could do
right,
it in the UK and then have somebody selling it here, and then he's good.
right. But check this out, okay? Hey, Wall, right? What was my clipper coming up in the game, right? The Wall Senior.
Yep.
And I'm not the type of person who, like, I'm not an entitlement type person. Like, I don't feel like, oh, I'm entitled for Wall to, but come on, bro. Like let's get real, bro. Do you like every every haircut video that I put out there, my DVDs, everything, all the videos, all the questions. Oh, what clipper? What's your favorite clipper? Wall, the Wall Senior. Do you think that Wall ever fucking hit me up and was like, "Hey Vic, you have sold a lot of clippers for us in this barber game." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I could have just as easily been an Andis barber, which I do fuck with Andis Masters and TLers and Oster 76ers and Fast Fees. Still to this day, I mess with all of them, right? But here's the deal. Do you think, what was I using in the videos? I was using the Wall Senior,
All
right?
things corded.
Do you think that they ever reached out to me? Even wrote me a little man, oh, thank you for using our clippers, anything? No. Because here's the thing that I agree with T-Pop. They don't, I mean, he don't give a fuck about us either. But they really don't give a fuck about us. They don't. They don't give a shit about us, bro. Us barbers. Literally. We're ants to them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Andis does, because I see Kenny Duncan and I highly respect Kenny Duncan and all the Andis team. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Andis does. I've never really, put Andis out there on my videos and stuff too much to where, maybe Andis would reach out to me, hey, would you like to be a part of the team? But you would just think like this guy is the number one fucking wall barber using walls on YouTube back in those days, anyways. You would think that here's a free clipper, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
So they never
Out
sent
of
you a pair of
nowhere,
clippers or nothing.
nothing, man. They've never, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But look, now check this out. Even look how they did Ron, classic cuts. They put the legend
Ron
on there, but
Ron had a million wall clippers. He was the
yes,
wall god.
exactly. And did they ever? Oh, they put legend on there because his name. They made that clipper supposedly after him. But why didn't they put the Ron Legend clipper? Why not?
Where is Ron now?
He don't even barber no more.
Really?
Yeah, he's not even barbering no more. He got tired of it, man. I think his last straw was I think his father passed away or something. Somebody passed away. It was either his mother or his father. And his client was like, "Okay, when can you cut my hair?" And he would
Uh,
it made him flip or something, man. He was like, "Fuck this shit. I'm fucking done with this punk ass bullshit." You know what I'm
mm,
saying? I remember him really being pissed off. And I mean, he's always been in the running and he's got his other job. I forget what he's doing now, but he's happy. You know what I mean? I haven't talked to him for a while, but I think he just got tired of the day to day dealing with customers and just dealing with shit. You know what I mean? Because this barber, it's not for the weak, bro. You got to have that thick skin. You know what I'm
damn,
saying?
bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy. You know,
But
here's
why
a
didn't
crazy
but why
thing.
didn't they put but why didn't they put a little picture of Ron on the box? A little tiny picture. Ron Legend, classic cut barbershop. Ron wouldn't have wanted no money. Do you know that would have made Ron's day? Like it made his day that they even just called it the Legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made his day that they even called it the Legend, but that's the type of shit I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, So long story short, so I wrote this dude T-Pop. He never even heard of me because I've been out the game for a long time. I wrote him, what's up, man? I'm trying to see what's up with your Clippers. I want to try them out. I hear a lot of good shit. Well, who are you? What makes you think I owe you a free pair of Clippers? And I'm like, okay, this motherfucker, right? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check this out, player. I was like, I'm coming back in this game, and I'm the reason why. And I said some cocky shit. I was like, man, I'm the reason why this barber game is where it's at right now. I'm the original YouTube barber that taught all these motherfuckers their shit, right? Whatever, right? I just came at him like that, and he was like, all right, what's your address? Boom, send me some clippers, and I fucking used them, and I was like, fuck, these fucking clippers work, and I've been using them ever since, bro. So. You know what I mean? And then he has sent me multiple clippers. He sent me like 3 pairs of liners. Now that I think about it, he sent me one, two, three, four. He sent me 4 clippers, 3 pairs of liners. Um, he don't know me.
Yeah.
And I never used this. I mean, I've used his clippers in videos and shit like recently, like little and I plan to do way better videos, for YouTube and shit. But I've used them, but it wasn't like, oh, use the T-Pop clipper. You know what I mean? It was, but you could see I'm using them. But my thing is, to me, he's more about the barber industry than those fucking companies are. Even though, yeah, he don't give a fuck about us too. He could be like, oh, I'm just making money, whatever. And I don't give a shit. But at least he's listening to barbers. He's listening to what we want. His clippers ain't fucking breaking in 3 months. Like, literally, bro. I've used like his so when it comes to corded clippers, I will still use my Andis Masters, I will still use my Styleliner 2s, my T outliners, my 76ers, my fast feeds, my wall seniors. I will still use all those clippers. I still have them all in pristine condition. I take care of them, I oil them up. I have all them, right?
Wow.
But I don't use them on a daily. But I'll tell you what, I will never invest in again. And here's the thing: you can't even buy those even if you wanted to at the local spot. They don't even. All they carry at Allen Rock Beauty. And shout out to Allen Rock too, by the way. They got all the barber shit over there. That's where I go to buy a lot of my stuff. But um, they don't have any corded clippers for sale. Pretty much, it's all wireless clippers. And like literally, bro, every company that I've used, they're all, and especially in old fam. I mean, I don't want to try to talk. I'm not trying to talk down on Andis, but I had the Andis Masters, the
Mhm.
cordless. They were fucking. They worked hella cool for like 2 weeks. And because I'm a barber, bro. I cut hair. Like I don't just do one haircut a week for fucking YouTube. I still put my time in. You know what I'm saying? I put time in, bro. I still cut a lot of hair.
It's
So
good.
yeah, so it's like I'm putting clippers to the test. You know what I'm saying? I'll use nothing but that clipper for a whole month, 2 months, just to see like is it gonna really hold up. Sure enough, bro, every time the cordless wall senior, trash. The cordless fucking Andis Master, trash. The cordless everything, all these big companies, all of them are all, you know what I'm saying? I don't like them. They all break. I just throw them in the trash. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm never buying another cordless clipper from this company's again. Now, T-Pops, on the other hand, still running. Those plays, bro. The battery lasts hella long. I'll do like 5 haircuts with them without having to charge the battery. You know what I'm saying?
These trolls, which you could get a
Oh,
whole set.
those are cool too. Those are good.
These was the ones I bought because the ones that's like the Baddest FX ones that's just like these. If you take this cover off, it's the same exact thing, which I've done a video for. But my Babbler's joints broke in less than a year. I got the Babbler's blade on here because I took the blade off of them to put on here, and I've been using these as my work mule for the past 2 years. I bought these. I bought the originals in Vegas at the LV Barber Expo, and they said I couldn't send them in to get fixed. But these T-Pop joints that you could buy the whole set, the trimmer and clipper for 180. I've been using these every single day for all
Hey,
my
so it's
clients.
like, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, say what you want about the guy, but his fucking clippers are fucking working, bro. Period. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying, like, these companies, I feel like a lot of them don't. I don't want to speak on Andis too much because I don't really, I never really put it out there that I used Andis, but I have always used Andis secretly. I have always used Andis behind the scenes on a daily
Really?
basis. Yes, I always wanted to be part of Wall, but I was looking at it like I wanted them to be like, Vic, we want to bring you in. You know what I mean? I never really. I think I might have filled out one application or something back in the day, but maybe I didn't fill it out right, out properly or whatever. But no, never heard nothing from him. Never.
Wall drops the ball all the time. I love Wall. Wall, I got him. I got him in my arsenal, right? But they dropped the ball, even with Sly Honcho. Sly Honcho is like the number one barber right now in the barber industry. He doesn't have an endorsement deal with not one clipper company, and he was using the Wall clippers all last year till he started to start picking up other clippers. But I'm like, why wouldn't Wall pick him up and make him the number one ambassador for the clipper company? It makes no sense to me. Then
Yeah, they don't.
I just interviewed a 10-year-old barber yesterday by the name of Bentley the Bomber, and he's 10 years old, phenomenal barber, doing barber battles and everything.
At
Why
10 years old,
wouldn't at 10
he's
years
10 years.
old, 10?
That's
Why
crazy.
wouldn't why would and yes, Wolf sent him the vapors and they sent him a whole bunch of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you, like, if you got so many kids want to be barbers now, why wouldn't you pick this young barber that's in the game right now from Colorado, the youngest barber in Colorado,
What
that's current?
nationality is it? What nationality is this kid?
I think he may be Italian. He may be Italian or yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But he's 10 years old, bro, and he's fire. Designs, straight razor, shear work, color at 10. And I'm like, why wouldn't you pick this person right
I'm just
now?
turning on the light. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm listening.
So I just believe that these companies, they're not, I don't know who's behind the recruiting or paying attention. Like they don't got an A&R for the barber industry that was like say
No,
who's very
they just don't get.
experienced.
They just simply don't give a shit, bro. That's what I mean. That's the only way I could see it.
His name
Like they
his
just don't care.
His name is Bentley the Bomber. If you go to my Instagram page, I interviewed him yesterday.
Oh
So
shit.
he's on my page. I want everybody to follow him. Make sure you tell him that Radio Sharp Podcast sent you guys because he's
Hell
10
yeah,
years
I'm gonna
old
check
and
them
he's doing
out.
great things. Yeah, man. It's just that they be dropping the ball. The fact that you are the reason why I bought the Wall Seniors, but because I saw you cutting
Yeah.
them. I begged my wife to buy me a pair. She bought me a pair of Wall Seniors, and even I have my corded Wall Seniors.
And
That's
the
in
and
my
the corded
graveyard.
and the corded wall seniors, for the record, still to me are it's arguable between the masters and the seniors, but they just
Look,
give you
bro.
two different kind of cuts.
Look,
Yep.
bro. These are
Yeah.
like these are my first clippers. Like I took my first
Yeah. The
clippers,
reflections. Yep.
put
Senior
them on the wall.
reflections.
These are my first pair of trimmers right here that I ever purchased. These are my first pair of clippers right here, the masters these are what I learned on. And I'm like,
That's
these are
fucking
the
dope
things,
that you. That's fucking dope that you put them in the little frames like that. That's hella sick.
but these are the things that made me money, that provided for my family. So I'm like, these companies are they're out of touch when it comes to what the barber really brings to
They
the
just don't give a
industry.
shit. They just don't give a shit. Period. They don't care.
It's
It's not that
sad,
they're
man.
out of touch. They just don't value us, bro. It's just that simple. And at least he pop, he doesn't value people. I don't know. I don't know what's in his heart. I don't know how he looks at people. I mean, he kind of comes off as a bit of a socio psychopath. You know what I mean? Narcissistic type personality disorder. Who knows, right?
Yep,
But but at the end of the day, if he likes you, he's sending you some clippers, or if he thinks whatever. I don't know. I mean, he didn't know me from nothing, and he sent me some clippers. So I'm like, you know what? He can't be that bad. You
yep.
know?
So since we speaking about clippers, and before we get up out of here, let me do it in
Yeah.
my barber questions, which is my 5 questions that I ask every barber. All right, you
The
ready?
rapid fire.
We're
Yep.
rapid
Go ahead.
fire. So the first question I got for you is top 5 clipper companies. So we talking about clippers.
Top five.
Yep.
I mean, even though I don't fuck with Wall like that, Wall, not new Clippers, but yeah, definitely the old school ones. Wall, Andis, Oster, and I'd have to say T-Pop now. I
So
have to
that's
throw him
four.
in there, bro.
You
I
said
have to throw him in
Wall,
there.
Wall, Andis, Asta, T-Pop. You got one more.
And I will have to say, they've sent me some clippers as well, and all of them have been good clippers and have lasted. I have to give them a shout out, man. And I know T Pop's not gonna like this if he sees this video, but fuck, what the fuck are they? What are the ones that he's always clowning on?
Babblers?
The ones that no, he's always clowning on another company that they like blew up or some shit.
Oh, you talking about Stylecraft.
Are they Stellarcraft? No,
Stylecraft Grammar? Stylecraft Gamma? Those are the one that blew
no,
up.
I think it might be Stylecraft. I mean, they've sent me. I think it's Stylecraft. What the fuck? I'm having a brain fart right
The
now.
name of the Clippers are the Instincts.
No, I've never used those ones.
Okay.
They just sent me one called the Rebel or some shit like that.
The Rebel.
Yeah, it's like a
Oh no.
white clipper. I haven't used it yet, but the clippers that I've used that they've sent me they've all been good. None of them have blown up in my hand. And to be honest with you, I've had and I'm not lying. This is real talk, bro. I've had several pairs of Andis T Outliner GTX. I don't know if it had something to do with the power in the wall or if it had to do with the cord or what. But I've had
GTX.
not those ones, the corded
Oh, recorded.
GTX straight blew up in my hand, bro. Literally, that happened 2 times
Wow.
back in the day. But I didn't care because they hit so clean that I just kept buying them. But yeah, that happened twice. I'd be
Bro,
cutting, all of a sudden I would just hear like a pop, and
but
then
I
I'd be
want,
like,
bro.
"Oh
You know what?
shit!"
You know what it could be though too. A lot of times we put too much oil, and that oil would get down into those motors, and then it'll make it blow up.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I've never
anybody
really, I
out
never.
there, sorry, anybody out there that got clippers, never throw your clippers away. Contact the company. Wall has a very good warranty company. A very good warranty. You could send your things back. You may have to pay something, but it's worth not throwing them away. And all those barbers out there with the graveyard clippers, contact Wall, contact Andis, because they do have authorized people that do the repair on these clippers. So those OG clippers that you want to bring back out, they will definitely be able to fix them for you. Yep.
Okay, that's what's up.
So
Yeah,
but
so I
as
mean, I'm pretty sure it's Stoutcraft, so that would have to be the other brand that I think
okay,
is pretty good. I mean, I haven't really used too much Babulous, bro, to be honest with you.
okay.
So
So
I can't speak, huh?
so even when the first Baddest FX skeleton clipper came out, you never used them.
I don't think I ever used. I think I may have you tried them, but I don't know how to pair. And yeah, I've never really used them like that. I never used their fading clipper, their adjustable clipper rather. Yeah, I've never
Mm.
really used their stuff. I mean, they look powerful, but I just can't really speak on them because I haven't used them like that.
What about Coco?
Well, I've used the T-Pop Cocoa ones that are just like Cocoa clip. Does that
They
count?
no, it's not count.
Yeah, no,
I
hey,
get it. I get it. I get
uh,
it. You know,
yeah, I've never used
because that's your
Cocoa.
preference. So, okay. Second question I got for you is having a license important and why?
Having a barber's license?
Mm-hmm.
Or a driver's license. No, I'm just kidding.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I I believe that it's important, bro. I mean, it's like to me that's like I don't want to say it's a dumb question because I'm not trying to insult your intelligence or anything, but
nah, yeah.
I know you're trying to get it into the people out there that maybe listening. But yeah, I mean, that's like saying to me, it's like is it important for a doctor to have a license to be a licensed doctor? It's like, of course it's important because it shows that you actually gave a fuck to go and take the test and do your due diligence and become professional on paper rather than
Yeah.
just being good at it. You went and you took the time to go through the hoops and jump through the hoops that you have to jump through to become a barber. So yeah, it's important. It's to me that's the reason. Yeah, it's like it's just you gotta it just it shows a certain level of maturity too, because anybody could just start cutting in their garage and just
Yeah.
or whatever and be like, yeah, I'm a barber, but it's like the mature person is gonna go and get the license. They're gonna take all the necessary steps, and to me that matters. To me, it matters,
I appreciate that.
and that's why.
Third,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
third question I got for you is: does having a social media presence convert into building a stronger clientele?
To me, yes and no. Because I had a strong clientele way before Facebook and all this shit ever even happened. And to me, like nothing is gonna give you a stronger clientele than you just simply being a good person, being a good barber, and building up relationships and building good rapport with people. No social media presence is gonna beat that. Because I know off the top of my head, I can name 50, 100 barbers that don't have any social media presence. They just post their family, but they're more fucking booked up than anybody on social media that tries to pretend like they're God's gift to barbering. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That goes back to all that shit I was talking about earlier about, the barber named John, the old man that made me feel this big. All that shit goes back to that. You think he had a social media presence? That
No.
guy, that guy died. I mean, he didn't die, but if he did die, he died with $20 million in the bank because he was a real estate agent, a barber, and one shop. And the guy was just balling out of control because he was smart. He knew how to build relationships with people, and he knew how to, he knew how to, he knew how to do it. And
Hmm.
so he didn't have no social media. So to me, social media is cool. It's a tool if you know how to use it. It's just a tool. It's not like, oh, if you have a social media, boom, that's the answer. No, if you don't know how to use social media, you're not even gonna get clientele from that shit.
Yeah.
You have to know how to use it. Like me personally, I don't even use social media to get clientele. I rely on my mouthpiece, shaking hands. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm a barber. Yeah, and just giving a dope cut and believing that people are gonna see that cut, and people are like, oh, that's a horrible way to think that you're gonna get more clientele. But hey, guess what? I've been in the game 21. How many years now? I think 20 years. And what is it?
21. You
Whatever.
said
I've been in the
21.
game.
You said
Yeah,
21.
21 years. Yeah, I've been in the game 21 years, right? So, um, it's never failed me. I'm still
Yeah.
booked up, and I don't sit there and put out ads and you could be like, oh well, you're Victor Barber. Everybody knows who you are. They don't. You think the clients give a shit about the haircut techniques I've been teaching that I was teaching on YouTube 10, 15 years ago? They don't care about that.
No.
So to me, it's all about how the person you are off of Instagram, because you could gain a client off Instagram, and if you're a fucking dickhead and you don't know how to treat people, you're not gonna fucking keep that client anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, you ain't gonna keep that client.
That's a
They're gonna
fact.
be like, damn. And no offense. That's why, like, I'm not trying to speak on people, but I don't give a fuck. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. I've cut certain people. I'm not gonna say his name, but we'll just say he's a big YouTube barber. We'll
Huh?
just say that he's a big YouTube barber, and he's in the Bay Area. I'll just leave it at that. I've had clients come down and be like, man, all that way he promotes himself on IG and YouTube and all that shit is all fake. In the shop, he's quiet. He doesn't fucking greet people. He's not cool. He ain't none of that shit that he promotes on the YouTube. And these people have come to my chair and come driven hours to come sit in my chair and get cut by me. So I'm not
I
gonna
get it.
put the name out there. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Huh?
No.
Huh?
I get it because I've had clients when I was in New York that used to go to the big name barbers out there, and they'll come to me because they see me on the same booking app and be like, "Yo, bro, I've been to so and so, and they haircuts is not even as good as yours, and your customer service is way better, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, I mean, I don't ever talk bad about other barbers, so all right, cool. But I
Yeah, I'm not. That's what I'm
understand,
saying. I'm not trying to.
no,
That's
no,
what I'm
no, no,
saying.
I
I'm
get
not
it,
trying
I
to
get
talk
it,
bad about him.
I get it,
But
I
it's
get it.
like all I'm
Yeah,
saying is my point is that all that shit on Instagram, how you carry yourself on Instagram, it don't mean shit if they come to your
Georgia.
if you come to your chair and then you treat them like a dickhead and you don't even know how to fucking greet people and actually care care about people. You know what I'm saying? You have to,
Yep.
even if you don't care about people, you got to at least make people believe that you care about them. You got to do, you know what I mean? If you have that, like, if you have that kind of attitude, you shouldn't be a barber. Barber is, you have to be a people person, period. You have to. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
That's part of,
Yep.
that's a prerequisite of becoming a barber. If you're not a people person, you better learn how to become a people person, period. I mean, in this day and age, I'm not gonna lie, the kids are a little different. They don't really talk. They just sit there all mute and shit. So maybe this day and age, so maybe this day and age, you don't have to be as much of a people person as you did in our time. But I still think that it's important, you know, to be able to know how to build relationships with people, and that goes a lot further than social media and all that stuff. But I'm not
You
hating on
can
social media,
you
huh?
can you can have a clientele being a person that's not a people person, but you won't build a strong clientele. And then like
Right,
nowadays there's so many people that's like don't want to talk when they get in the shop. Like they like when they I'm talking to clients, the clients get there and they don't want to talk, they just want to get their haircut and go. And I think that's why there's different customers for different barbers. And you may
right.
be the barber that's not all into the conversation. You want to get them in the chair, get them out, and then a lot of customers will go to that person because that's what they want. And then you got a person like me that we gonna have a conversation for the whole haircut, and I know who want to talk, who don't want to talk, who want to they want to confide in me all the things that they got going on. And then you got people that just want to just get a haircut and go. So you got to be the type of barber that can also do that. But there are a lot of these new barbers, 25, like the age 27 to 17, they especially coming after the pandemic, their social skills are very off. They're not
Yeah,
outgoing. They're not spoken. They're not outspoken. They don't know how to have conversations. They don't even like the interactions. And I see that a lot.
yeah. And none of them want to cut in a barber shop. They want to cut either in their
In
basement
the
or they want
suite,
to cut in a suite. Yeah,
yeah,
we're in a
they go straight
suite.
from barber school straight to the suite, or straight to the garage, or straight to the basement. And what I
Yeah,
don't understand is these barbers that go to barber school and then go and cut in a shed or cut in the basement or cut in the suite. You don't even you don't have enough skin in the game to be isolated in a small space. You need to
yeah,
be the way you stay sharp is by having people to the left and right of you and to create um communication and technique and learn other things. You
yeah.
didn't learn everything at barber school. I
Exactly.
mean,
And
I mean, lost.
they think that they're learning. Like I see a lot of people doing techniques, like for instance, the corner technique. It's like I see people doing it, and I'm like, you're just doing that because you've seen 1,000 other barbers do that. They've seen me do that, but they don't even know why I'm doing that. It's like they're just doing it for the video, just to show a little dumbass technique in there, but they're not even using it. See, if you notice, I didn't used to just use that corner technique at the bottom of the line. I was all up in here with the shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I want to take my hat off because I don't got good hair like that. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That corner technique was to really blend out little dark spots and imperfections that were up here. The fade would be down here, and I'd be all up in here with it with the T outliner and shit
Yep.
too. That's
Yep.
why when I see people doing it, I'm like, you're not even fucking doing this shit right. You're just fucking doing it just to kill time on the video and show like you know what you make it look like you know what you're doing. The fade's already done, it's already clean, and you're sitting there doing the corner technique on there, but you're not even doing. They're using the other side. I even heard one barber go, "Oh, you shouldn't use," because I've always used if I'm holding the clipper right here, I'm using the left side of the blade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always tilted right there, and I'm using the left side. I've heard one barber try to tell me, "Oh, you're not supposed to use that side. You're supposed to use the right side." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I invented that shit. What the fuck you talking about? Trying to tell me what side of the fucking clipper to use? Get the fuck." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here, bro. You know who the fuck you're talking to?
They don't
Straight up,
know,
I've
bro.
got dude. I've probably gotten shadow banned a few times on IG because of how I've gotten at some people. I'm not proud of that shit, but that's just me being being a hothead sometimes. But I try not to get at people like that no more. But there was times where I'd be like, I would just go crazy on fools. Like, dude, do you realize like you only doing that because of me? Because you seen 50 other barbers doing it, and those 50 other barbers seen me doing it back in the day? Like, get out of here! Don't tell me like, you know what I mean?
They don't know.
Yeah.
The fourth question I got for you is, where do you see the industry in 5 years?
Ooh, I don't know, bro. Honestly, that's hard to say, bro, because things are changing so fast and so drastically that I just feel like it's hard to even say that. But I will say this, that guys like me, you, Cole, Jay Majors, guys that have a voice, we need to start stepping up and keep stepping up. And Jeezy, I mean, Jeezy, he just the reason why it's like I mean, I'm not hating on Jeezy. He's a good barber. He's done a lot for YouTube and whatever. But it's like I feel like like enough with the games already. Like, come with some like game for the young generation. Like, not just the haircuts. Like he's. I mean, how old is Jeezy now?
He's
Right?
like,
Like 40
he's like,
or
he got to be
30,
like
30,
40.
30. Okay, I want to hear Jeezy come with some real game now too. Like, I don't know, I haven't listened to him, but last videos I just stopped watching his videos because I was like, man, he's not doing anything. To me, he's not doing anything that's like revolutionary. He's just doing, the reels and that's played out. Like haircut tutorials are, I'm sorry, to anybody out there trying to get in the game, it's played out. It is. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him come with a game like, and we all given different things, right? We're all given different, we all have a different lane and we're giving to the industry, but I don't want to see him giving real game. Like, I know he's got some game, he has to, right? He's
Yeah,
he's almost 40. Anybody that's 40's got some game, so I want to see him giving game. I want to start giving game like I'm trying to here with you right now. I want to start being more active. Jay Majors, he's done a lot, but bro, I was talking to him today for about maybe 30 minutes, bro. I mean, it's obvious, right? Look at everything he's done. He's got fucking stupid game. Like
yeah.
stupid retarded game. Like dude, he could literally like sell some craziness, bro, on how to do pretty much anything in the industry. Like he's a fucking genius.
Yeah, and
You
he's
know what I
doing a
mean?
whole bunch of things, from having barber schools to doing the salon suites,
Right, right. He
barbershops.
is. My point is not saying that he isn't doing it,
Mhm.
but my thing is cats like Jeezy, because Jeezy has a huge platform. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? We all just needed to keep giving game because my main point, I wasn't trying to, talk down on Jared and nothing like that. But my main thing is we really do have an opportunity to be able to shift the industry back to the right place. Not saying that
yeah.
it's in a wrong place, but we have the ability to do that. But if we don't, and we just sit back and do YouTube tutorials or throw barber battles or whatever, I'm not talking down on that stuff. All we do, and we just focus on this, like the barber game is gonna literally go to shit, and it already is. Like as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? With the younger generation, like none of them want to cut. None of them want to cut in a barber shop anymore. They all want to just be in suites. So that's the next thing. So it's like, what's going on here? Like the game is just. I mean, maybe it's for the good. I don't know, bro. I'm just like I grew up. I don't want to say I grew up old school, but what happened to just the good old barber shop, man? What happened? What happened to that? But that's where everywhere is different. Some places I think it's still the barbershop is still heavily the main thing. You know
Focus
what I mean?
on
That's the
yeah.
main right. But in a lot of places, like from what I'm talking, like I talked to some barbers and they're like, bro, none of these young barbers are cutting in shops. They're all cutting in suites. You know
It's
what I'm
true.
saying?
It's true. It's hard for
Yeah. So
it's hard for these shop owners to have full occupancy when they come to having barbers.
yeah,
You may have five
yeah, and
barber
it's like,
shops on
man,
one
cat.
block, and they got two to three chairs
Yeah,
open.
Yeah, so again, man, like cats like Cole, Jared, Jeezy, Jay Majors, me, you, anybody out there, bro, my wife's over here yelling at not yelling at the kids, but she's yelling to them, so it's like throwing me off. But anybody that has even a few thousand followers, whatever, like just people from the old school, I mean from the OG barbers in the game they just need to keep, bringing this information. You get what I'm getting sidetracked. I need to like keep pouring into this generation.
Of course.
Otherwise, because like your question is, where do I see it? I don't see anything good, bro. I mean, I'll be good. I'll be good, but the industry, I think it's gonna be fucking weird, bro.
Mm.
Like, I think it's gonna be a weird. It's already getting weird. Like, I'm just like, how, like, should I even think about opening other shops? Should I even like, how am I supposed to move as a business owner, knowing that? I mean, if one barber leaves, how long is it gonna take me to fill that? You know what I mean? Where before it was like, oh, put a boost out there. Hey, I got an open chair. Boom, you got a new barber coming in. Now it's like everybody that I know that I talk to, they're like, bro, the barber shops are slow. You got mad people cutting in there out of their houses, and I can't hate on that because I started out cutting out of the house too. But everything now is just on a much larger scale. You got 5 kids in each neighborhood cutting out of their garage now, where before you had one kid on this side of town, one kid on this side. You got hell of kids cutting hair, and that's a and that's a good thing.
Yep.
I'm not trying to detour. That's a good thing that these young kids are cutting hair, but I just feel like it's a profession, bro. It's a profession, and you mean I don't know, man. Call me old school, bro, but I don't want to see the American barber shop just go to shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see it get erased. You know what I
I
mean?
feel
Like I
like you know
want
what
to
I
see.
feel. I feel like all of these young barbers that we speaking about, especially the ones that's cutting out the house and this and that. We, the OGs, have to be the ones to try to pull them out of the house and take them to a show and bring them to a shop because a lot of them don't know what that aspect is really about. They just learn
Yeah.
something on YouTube and they say yo, and then they start cutting themselves and cutting their friends, and then there was nobody that they probably really idolized that made them say, you know what, come and let me show you something. Like
Well,
there's a few
they
barbers
have
that I said,
idolized.
yeah.
I feel like they have all idolized the same person. They basically all. I mean, I feel like I said, I feel like I feel like you're doing your part. I'm gonna do my part. I mean, I feel like I always kind of did push that line for the craft. Like I
Mm,
wasn't about, oh, look at me, come follow me, yeah, follow me, subscribe, blah blah blah. I was never like that, bro. I didn't fucking come into the game like that, and I didn't even when I did like what I was doing towards the end or whatever. I didn't, but you know what I'm saying. Like I never promoted my. It wasn't the people who are in the game now that are doing it. They're the ones that are responsible damn near for this new generation acting the way they're acting. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like Basio, I feel like he's done a good job of, keeping it like how a barber shop should be, how the barber profession should be. Certain people have done their fucking job, bro, and you
yep,
can't hate on them. You know what I'm saying? And then
yep,
certain people, not saying no names, but it's just not like they get all the praise, but really, I feel like they haven't really done that. They haven't really made it. You know what I mean? Kept it for the barber, for the trade, for the craft, for the industry. It's just kind of been about them and just building up their fucking little whoop de whoop empire or whatever. But it's like at the end of the day, that's not good for the. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like a hater, bro,
no, but
but
you're right though. You're right.
I just
And it's our
love
job to fix
barbering,
it.
bro. I just love barbering. Like I love this shit. Like this shit is everything to me. You know what I mean?
But too,
Like it
right?
really is.
If you didn't have that person that told you, oh, let's go check out the barber school, because it came a point where you was like, well, this school only take cash. I don't got cash. Somebody informed you about another barber school that was all the way in San Francisco, but they took you there, and it was like, okay, well, this is what I need to do. I need to be here. Then from that, there was other people that was in these barber shops that was grooming you, helping you, teaching you, but you wanted to be there because you seen it. These new barbers are not seeing it.
Man, it's just, bro, something about barbering. It's like a magical, like not. But it's just like I don't know, bro. I'm different though, so I can't expect everybody to be like me. But the things that I
Absolutely.
feel like when I used to go and visit Shane, you know who Shane Nesbitt is?
No.
For anybody that don't know who Shane Nesbitt is, after you watch this, go on YouTube and watch Shane. Type in Shane Nesbitt. Nobody like to me. He's like the epitome of just like a hardworking. barber that just fully saturated his whole being with barbering, bro. Like nobody loved barbering more than him. And I don't know what's going on with him right now. I mean, I don't know if I think he sold his last shop, and I think, I don't want to speak too much on him, like, what he's going through, and I don't even know what he's going through, but I know he was going through some things, but nobody, when he was at the height of his career, nobody was more passionate about barbering than this guy. Like
Uh-huh.
he was charging $50 for a haircut like 15 years ago, bro. Like this guy had the service. He had it down, bro. His service, the way he treated his clients, the way he served, like the way the shampoo with the shaving, with everything is like when you watch the way he gets down, you just be like, it ain't about the haircut per se. It's about
Uh-huh.
the whole. The Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's the whole package with that guy. You know what I mean? Just a fucking beast, bro.
I
Watch
just
when
found
you
him on
watch his
YouTube.
videos, you're gonna get inspired just by watching an old ass video of mine, guarantee it. Like when I need some inspiration, I go back and watch his videos. I don't go fucking, no offense. I don't go and watch Chris. I don't go watch 360 Jeezy. Those guys, I do get inspired by Chris. Don't get me wrong. Oh, and Jeezy as well, but not so much on the haircutting. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I get inspired, like business wise. I get inspired by Chris because I'm like, man, this guy's a beast.
Yep.
He's built a tremendous brand, built a big company. He's very successful. And so, like, that's what inspires me about him. So, different people inspire me different ways. Like, Jeezy, he inspires me by the way he just, blew himself up on the internet. Like, that shit inspires me. Whether I agree with, all the shit that he does, it's not up for me. It doesn't matter if I agree, but to me, I'm more about, like, I like to see that traditional barbering, people really caring about the craft, really loving the craft, not making it a fucking clown show. Not saying
Yep.
that but just anybody. I don't like seeing it. I get super fucking annoyed when I see all these stupid ass meme videos, bro, to be honest with you. Like to me, it's making the barber industry look stupid and it's making clients look at us like we're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be like all the jokes, like fucking, going and get some fart spray on your finger and then putting it in there, the video, like shit like that, and having the clients, oh, what the hell? Like, yeah, it's funny, but it's just like, bro, show me a doctor doing that, bro. Show me a doctor making a video like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
people are like, oh, well, we're not doctors. We're just fucking barbers. And it's like, nah, bro. We used to be held. We used to be held in that same regard as a doctor. You come in and see us all, bam, with the smock, with the snap button, all white, all black, whatever. It's not a, it doesn't matter what color, but just yeah, but just all uniformed up. Everything on point. 1920s Kokins, straight razors, strops. You know what I mean? The whole nine, the whole thing, bro. Like the stuff you got your antique, your first clipper on the wall. It's like that shit's dope. I love seeing shit like that because I love everything that has a ring like that. I got fucking hella
Mm-hmm.
old school, straight razors all behind glass and shit like that. I love that shit. To me,
That's
it's
up.
like these young barbers, they don't, and it bothers me. They don't give a fuck about that stuff. It's like they really could care less about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't
If
speak
they
for all of them. I
if
can't
they
speak for
made
all of them.
if they made something like that, they would have a cordless airbrush gun, some enhancement, a cordless clipper. Like you still gotta know. You gotta still know where you came from. You gotta still know the
Yeah, there's
history.
nothing. I'm not saying that you got to sit there and use the fucking single
But
edge razor that you
but
can't
you should know about it.
undisposable. But you should know about it. You should have that hung up in your shop, the strop, whatever. Just know about it. Like I'm not using that shit. I'm not shaving people with that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm using cordless clippers. I'm using disposable blades. I'm
Mm-hmm.
using a little spray here and there. Not too much, but when my clients ask for it. But my thing is like, I just don't want to see the art form. I don't want to see the traditional barbershop just lost. You know what I mean? And I'm afraid that I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna stay in my lane and do my part, but I can't expect everybody else to be on that same wavelength. But I would like to see it because cats like Jeezy, he got a huge following. I would love to see him really, you know what I mean, boss up and be really about that shit and just be like, listen, youngsters, this is what it's really all about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you and me, Cole, Jay Majors, fucking everybody, Danny. Like I remember, you know who Danny is from New
Success
Jersey?
addict. Yeah.
Jay Majors, they were with Success Addict, right?
Yeah.
Like that dude inspires, bro. I even sent him a little message. I was like, bro, I still go back and watch your old videos, bro. When he's coming into the, with the music and shit, and he's walking in, showing his feet. You can
Yep.
just see the passion, bro. That's the shit that these young barbers need to see, bro. That real passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And with the because other than that, I just see the same. Other than that, I'm just seeing the same fucking bullshit little tutorial over and over and over. Look how I charged my client $250. This is how I got my client. Shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody paying you that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there might be some clients out there that are willing to pay you that, but it's like even that, like that's not professional. Like that's not. Why are you telling people what what this person paid you? Like that is not professional in my eyes. I like seeing videos like that. I was like, why are these fools talking about what their client paid them?
Nobody
Like
else does
that
it.
went like that,
Dentists don't do it.
huh?
Doctors don't do it. Makeup artists don't do it. Even hairdressers don't do it. It's just the barber
Yeah,
industry went crazy the past 5 years,
that's what I'm
and
saying, bro.
we
That's what
didn't
I'm
tell
saying.
people
And
what we
like, and
did
I hate to
because
sound,
we made money every single day. And if you told people how much you was paying, I mean, how much you was charging, you was going to get robbed every single night.
yes, and that's why I'm saying like, it's not. I'm not trying to hate. I hate. I'm not trying to sound like a hater. Like, what is it, honey? I'm on a live right now. No, she needs to go get Dakota. I can't get off. I'm on the thing right now. So tell her. But yeah, what was I gonna? Where was it? Where was I at?
We was just talking about,
She was like, my daughter's like, you've been on that phone for like 3 hours.
I thought I got her. I
That's
know I
all
got
good.
mad.
No, but
I probably got mad missed calls from my wife right now too. Like we gonna be on there for an
yeah,
hour, but this is Vic though,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's all good.
we
But
was
what
talking
was I
about
saying though?
how they talk about how these barbers are talking how much money they making.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like to me, like that like mind boggled me because I'm like, why would you do that? And like, who? Why are you telling people this shit? And I get it. That's the problem. Is everybody they're not doing shit to further the industry. They're just doing shit to further their views. And cats are willing to do anything. Like me, only do what I really feel is right in my heart. What I'm passionate about. I'm not all of a sudden just. You'll never see me switch up and start doing some other shit because everybody else is doing it. I don't give a fuck if I get 0 views, bro. I don't care, bro. If I fall off the face of the earth because I'm not riding the new wave, because I'm not all of a sudden throwing a bunch of enhancements. I'm not saying I'm not hating on enhancements. But if all my haircuts aren't all enhanced up, and I'm not as much, and I'm not using the fucking song that's trending right now, I don't give a shit, bro. I'm gonna use some fucking old school Nas from 1991, or some fucking Wu Tang, or some fucking pop locking beat. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do me, and I'm not gonna follow what everybody's doing just because that's how you get views. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep doing what I believe is right. You know what I mean? Promoting myself the way I promote myself, that's cool. But more than that, like, I'm not going to switch up and start doing videos, showing how much money I'm making, all this. Like, why? For what? You know what I mean? To
Right.
me, that stuff it don't make no sense. Why people are shit. But
Yep.
people just want to blow up. People just want to blow up, and that's all there is to it. You know what I mean?
Well,
And they're not, the barbering as a whole is not really what's in their heart. They're just using the industry. They're just using the profession as a gateway to, I don't know, do whatever the hell. Not only that, then you got the women, bro, that like putting the camera right there where it's up their butt cheeks and shit, and then doing the fade. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, all that kind of shit is like you just disrespecting the craft. Like I'm big on that, bro. I don't like seeing people disrespect the craft, bro. I got respect for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I might, I know I come off like, okay, this dude, half the words that are coming out of his mouth are cuss words. He's just a street dude. Whatever he's talking about, fuck him, whatever, right? But it's like, hey, that's me. But I still have a level. I still have a level of respect for the craft. You'll never see me talking about the money that I'm making online. You'll never see me putting that out there. You'll never see me, digging in my balls and recording it and then putting it in my client's face and spraying fart spray and slapping them with talc and sticking my finger in their fucking mouth. And what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit, bro? Like
Oh
literally,
no.
what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I see this shit, I'm like, am I fucking? Did I just see this shit? Like this shit just making us look. It's making us look fucking stupid, bro. You know what I mean?
You're
And
right.
everybody's like, oh, well, you're a barber, so then they link you with those fucking guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And they look at the whole they looking at the whole craft, and then Cass is wondering why you can't get more than $20-$30 for a haircut because of people like that, and they're faking on the numbers too. Most of these cats are faking on the numbers, bro.
I know
I'm
that for
sorry,
a
but
fact.
that's yeah, they're numbers, bro. They're buy my fucking course. This is how I scaled this person to make 15, 20 grand a month. Shut the fuck up. You ain't fucking ever made 20 G's in 1 month cut, fucker. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't even fucking got the balls to stand behind the chair and make 20 G's in 1 month. I know people that actually have made 20 G's just cutting hair. I do know people, but
Hmm.
they're fucking working. They're working their ass off. You know what I'm saying? And these people, oh no, I charge $250 a haircut. I only have to do 3 haircuts a day. Get the fuck out of here. That's all fucking a bunch of bullshit, bro. Maybe certain. And I was speaking about this with DL, right? I was
Hmm.
speaking about this with DL at the Las Vegas one, at the Las Vegas battle, and I was like, see, I believe cats like you when you're like, I made 1,500 in 5 minutes just lining, and I'm trying to talk like him too, just lining up this dude's mustache for this movie or whatever, and I believe it. He literally charges by the minute, and I believe in that because that's DL Master Barber, right? And he cut Tupac. He's been cutting people for movies in the industry, in the movies and film and the and music industry for years. He's big, so I believe it when it comes from him. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
believe it. I know he's telling the truth. He's not. I know he's not lying, right?
Yep.
But here's the deal: these kids want to get to that, but they don't understand that that shit took years of building relationships with different people where he's that guy. Yeah, they can call you, they can get on you on Instagram and pick 20 different barbers that got bars that could do the job, but who are they gonna call? Because he did what? He built that relationship. It all
Absolutely.
starts with relationships. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna just go to this kid or that person or whatever. They're gonna go to DL because he built that relationship, and there it is. And that's why he's that. That's why he's where he's at, because he's been that guy, and you got to give it to him. But these kids talking about they're charging 250, 3, 4, 500. Come on, bro, miss me with all that shit. And I'm not hating. Hey, if you are getting that, hey, more power to you, bro. But I don't believe it. And I know many barbers out here are just like, nah, stop it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm one of those guys that say stop it. But listen, man, we gonna definitely need to have to do a part two because I know we got a lot to
My
really
bad,
talk
bro. My
about.
bad. Hey, I know I
No,
might have. I know I
listen.
might have went off, bro. I'm sorry.
This is exactly what is needed because when they dissect these 3 hours and so much gems that was spoke of, and we just hitting the surface really. There's a lot more to speak about. But I definitely want to get you back on. I want to we could probably bring in DL to have a conversation with it because I want to do the things that we don't like in the barber industry now, and us having like a roundtable discussion because we can address these things to correct it and we just don't talk about it, but we act on it. So I definitely want to get you back going sooner than later to have more in depth conversation.
Absolutely, bro. And one more thing, I don't want people to. I'm like I said, I might come off like I'm completely nuts. I'm just really passionate, bro. And it's not like I'm angry at anybody or anything like that. I'm just really passionate about it. And if I come off and I may have said things, whatever, that may have offended anybody, I don't mean to offend anybody on here. I just want to let that be clear. You know
Uh
what I'm
huh.
saying? I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm just passionate about this, about the craft, and I love it so much because I wouldn't be where I'm at without it.
That's a
And
fact.
yeah, man. Shout out to everybody that we spoke on today, and shout
Everybody.
out to everybody out there, and shout out to all these new barbers. I hope that they could see this podcast and get some type of game from it and be inspired. And I don't mean to come off like a fucking asshole, but I'm just really I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to come off like, because the OG talking his shit, I'll shut him up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be that. I don't. That's one guy. That's the guy I don't want to be either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm passionate, bro. And
Nah,
and I know a lot of people that think that. Go ahead, go ahead.
don't apologize for none of this, bro, because you're speaking it from the heart and you're speaking things that's very important to you. So don't ever be
Right,
apologetic for something that you believe in.
right, right,
Listen
right.
here,
No,
bro.
yeah, I know. You know where I'm coming from, though, right?
Yeah.
It's all love, bro. I got love for everybody, bro. You know what I mean? I just want to see people really, really, keeping this shit up, not. You know what I mean? Not taking it down. We
Yep. So
gotta we
listen,
gotta keep
man,
it going.
we're gonna
Yeah.
definitely get into it again. So make sure you hold up, cause look, my wife just texted me, yo, it's 10 o'clock. It's gonna kill
Oh, I'm
me.
gonna I'm gonna
But
get dude. I'm gonna get fucking hella
you know
yelled at
that.
right now. It's all
But
good.
But listen, man, we definitely going to continue this conversation another day. I thank you, my brother, for being an OG. Hold on, let me get my award so we can show this off. Because every time I get an OG on here, I got to pull it out. Shout out to my other OG Barber in the building. These
Yes,
are things
sir.
that everybody don't have, and when we get one of these from an
Yep.
OG, the Godfather of the barber industry like Al Means, I definitely got to salute my brothers that's on with me that won one of these. So we salute you, my brother Vick,
Yeah.
for all that you have done for the barber industry. Those that you don't even know that you are the reason why they're doing the thing that they're doing now and providing for their family, and you have kept people out of prison, out of the grave, and out of doing negative things and they doing positive things. So we salute you. If nobody else do, just know that we do it over here. So this
Amen.
your boy
I
Trevor the
appreciate you,
Barber,
bro.
Rated Shop Podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow, and support. And we see you guys next time. You dig? Peace. That's my boy
Peace.
Rick in the building. See you later, my brother. Thank you.
Later, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you,
All
bro.
right,
Much
have
love.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Terry the Barber, and I'm here to give you guys the Razor Sharp Podcast promo code for the Hex Pod. So don't walk to thehexpod.com. Select your purchases, go to checkout, and put the code RSPC10 to get 10% off in complete purchase. And any orders that's $300 or more gets free shipping. Go to thehexpod.com, put an RSPC10, and save some money with